Yeah. Murray. Got the world in a spin. Blades in my hand, got the world in a spin. Javon's knife flicks, let the show begin. Every move sharp like the edge I hold. Stories untold, sharper than gold. Flick life, twist life, every frame tight. Knives on the screen, cutting through the night. Subscribers piling up like stacks on stacks. Javon's in the zone, ain't no turning back. Clicks and views, yeah, they fly like sparks. Knives in the dark, carving out my mark. From ballad songs, flipping to the sickest tricks. Javon's knife flicks, where legends are lit. Every video's fresh like a polished blade. Precision and grind, that's how dreams get paid. Cutting through limits, breaking the streak. Javon on the rise, every fan's heartbeat. From tutorials fire to unboxings insane. Content so slick, you won't leave the lane. Blood, sweat, grip, stealing every flick. And Javon's world sharp is the only pick. Flick life, twist life, every frame tight. Knives on the screen, cutting through the night. Subscribers piling up like stacks on stacks. Javon's in the zone, ain't no turning back. YouTube was good. It's your boy Javon.
This is Javon's Knife Flicks. 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 Every day carry for your viewing pleasure. We just having fun together. Haters try to say we weird, but we doing better. Knife community is all that matters. Welcome to the Knife live stream. Be yourself, say what's up, put the knives up. We on the stream, have a good time. Welcome to the Knife live stream. Be yourself, say what's up, put the knives up. We on the stream, have a good time. This is Javon's Knife Flicks. 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 This is
eyes wide open, the clock don't rest. Street lights flicker, got a blade in my chest. Not fear, just thrills as the steel shines thin. In the glow of my insomniac, sit and spin. Late night cuts where the stories begin. Fingers on fire and the metal's my kin. Stream it live where the fearless win. This is Javon's Knife Flick, sit and spin. Glit in the dark, oh the dance so slick. The edge does the talking, every sound it clicks. World's asleep but the shimmer won't fade. Precision's my game and the craft's my blade. Late night cuts where the stories begin. Fingers on fire and the metal's my kin. Stream it live where the fearless win. This is Javon's Knife Flick, sit and spin. Under moonlight, the sparks they fly. Sharp as my wit, slicing through the sky. The rhythm of midnight, sharp edges sing. Tuned in, live to the late night king. Drip of the blade, it's a beauty so raw. The curve, the balance leaves the world in awe. Restless minds find their solace in steel. Crafting a story no day could reveal.
The Insomniac sitting spins now on the air for the night freaks who can't sleep. I'm the Insomniac Javon, and today we're gonna take a look at some of my flicks. So you're getting where you're fitting. Sit down, shut up, and listen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to flick it. Welcome to the Insomniac Sit and Spin. Welcome to the Insomniac Sit and Spin. Welcome to the Insomniac Sit and Spin.
A little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? And when that stuff runs out, you're gonna wanna make it. Are you high on cigarettes?
Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 He don't smoke them, but he loves it when you do. That's why he's high on cigarettes. And if you find him, you should light him up with you. He's getting
What is up, guys? Everybody, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. We have got just an action-filled night tonight on Tuesday. What is everybody doing? Neil McKenzie was in here earlier, and he's got to work late. I don't know if he'll be back, but he stopped in to say, hey, Brother Marco's in the house. What's up? Finadog, what's going on, brother? We got Ed, channel member. What's up? The main man, Richard Hopkins, in the house and channel member. What's up, Richard? Good to see you, buddy. Jesse's here, channel member. Got here early. I wasn't planning on going live till 9:15, but figured we'd go a little early. What is up, Mad Yako? Y'all go to Mad Yako's site. We'll check it out here in a little while. I saw a couple of other unboxings of those VHS grab bag tapes on Instagram. Not tapes. I don't know what you necessarily call them, but they're pretty cool. I hope everybody's having a great week. It is Tuesday. What is it? September 9th. Nice and cool here. Tippy and Puck, the gray cat, are out hanging out, doing their thing outside. So that ought to be interesting. We'll see if they're there when the live's over. I've got something I'm going to be doing an unboxing, not tomorrow, but it'll be in the next couple of days. But I figured we'd do a pre-unboxing of this knife tonight. I've got a couple of concepts that came in, and that one's very interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called the Hazard. I know Melissa Backwoods has done some shorts on it. Awesome, Jesse. I'm glad you got it, buddy. Ryan's not in here yet, but his went out. I try to get everything out on Monday. Used to, when I had the lives earlier, I could usually get them out on Saturday. Good to see you, Finadog. I think I'm pronouncing that. Finagog. That's my dyslexia, not your spelling. But dude, the Mini Bulldog, to me, is a winner design. I love the blade shape. I love the way the butt of the handle fits in my hand. I haven't felt a full-size Bulldog, but to me, the Mini's perfect. It's a winner. Another knife I haven't reviewed yet, but I reviewed the premium. This is the Vanguard series, which is Kaiser's, I guess you'd call it budget. This isn't really budget. This is a $99 premium knife that any other company would probably sell for $200. It's Damascus. You can also get it in 14C. It's got wooden inlays, titanium handle, little slip joint, and the Damascus is done very well. It's a stainless type of Damascus. I don't know the specifics of the two metals that they're using. But what's interesting about it is it's a slip joint, and the half stop, they keep it less than 90 degrees, and you've got jimping right here, and that's a safety feature, so it won't cut you. But if you notice the back spring here, and a viewer pointed this out to me, but the back spring does not move. It's got an internal spring. So it's got an actual spring that runs right inside that one that is actually taking the friction of those three stops. It's really kind of cool. What's up, Burnt Relic? Good to see you, brother. I don't know if you watched Shane's live Sunday night, but I was representing you, my friend. But that's a pretty cool little Kaiser knife where the one in S45 and carbon fiber, I think it's like 160. I think this one's like 89, maybe 99. I've got to do a review on this, which is a very cool knife. This is the Staffy. It's got full aluminum backspacer, aluminum bolster, carbon fiber handle. Really interesting blade, compound grind, thick tip. It is on a clutch lock, but Kaiser does bar locks, in my opinion, from a detent standpoint, as well as anybody. But very cool knife. But here in just a little while, we're going to get into this because this is interesting. I have a feeling this knife is going to cause me some cuts. I think this will be worse than the Demko was. Hopefully not. We'll see. The other thing that came in that was really cool, I've always been a TRM fan. So early on, but long before I had a channel, I bought this little TRM Nerd. This is the first generation Nerd, 20 CV, got the TRM logo and a little indentation there in the blade. And then they came out with the Holy Nerd because people in their community were saying they wanted a full hole. So they made the Holy Nerd, which made it more flickable, same fantastic blade geometry, same little fifth pocket carry knife. And they just came out with a revision of this called the Holier Nerd. I did a video today and I put these scales on the Holier Nerd. But if you'll notice, not only is that hole bigger, but it's very, very crisp. This knife is not broken in yet. It's on washers. But what's cool to me about what TRM does, because they did it with the Bulldog too, is they are very plugged in to what their community and what the knife community tells them at blade shows, tells them when they give them reviewer feedback. And they're a big enough company to where now you don't have to wait, except for Adams, and you can probably find those at River's Edge Cutlery, but you used to have to wait. When I got into the community and started buying TRMs, you'd have to be there on drop day. They couldn't produce the knives for the demand. Now they probably have more knives in their collection than they ever have, and dealers carry them and you can obtain them. And for a USA maker, I think this little knife, we'll need to look at them because they've got a brand new website that went live today too. For a USA made knife, if you're looking for a slicey EDC, this is the smallest. The one I'm carrying today is kind of the mid-sized, the Neutron. This is in MagnaCut. Very thin, very minimalistic carry, but the blade geometry and the thinness and sharpness of this knife is amazing. So we'll look at their website because it did just go brand new. Go ahead and do that real quick before I forget. And I apologize, guys. I'm on just a little coffee brain roll right now. Uh-oh. 3. See if so. I don't know if we've looked at TRM site before, but it used to be a white site with some blue writing. And my understanding is they've got a marketing team now of about 3 people. And this now shows their knives where you don't have to go into categories. But for example, what I was going to say is if you like micarta, you like G10, these knives start out at $230. They do get more expensive if you go with titanium, which is what Halliburton Titanium is who started TRM knives. So the Bulldog starts out at, $265. That's with carbon fiber scales. If you go with regular scales, $270. See if we go texture 40. So about $270 for a USA made, really well done knife. So I think they've got a really cool place in the marketplace, because one of the things that I also like about them, and this is kind of cheesy and it's more subjective, but if you get one of these knives and you can get them again with so many different types of material, but you can go in later and you can just buy scale sets. And right now, these scale sets are not priced right. I've reached out on a couple that were inaccurate, but you can go in and you can buy scales for any of your knives. So if you didn't get carbon fiber, but you want carbon fiber, or you want to get titanium down the road, you can get titanium down the road. If you want to get micarta down the road, you can get micarta down the road. So it's really cool. And the pivots don't have to come out. I don't know if any of y'all have seen my videos on that, but to take TRM scales off, with the exception of the Bulldog, you only have to take these 2 body screws off. The scale comes right over the pivot. So it's pretty cool. I was stoked to see their website go up. Burnt Relic, that is a lot of typing for a dyslexic. If you're talking to me, I am definitely dyslexic, and I've definitely been typing. But their site used to be not harder to navigate, but it looks like now it's a little bit more user-friendly. And with the exception of the Atom, every one of their models and the tag-along, with the exception of those 2, you can buy through their website. And the other ones, I think you can buy through River's Edge Cutlery or some of the other knife companies. What have I missed? Who have I missed coming in the house? 1931 Leatherworks is in the house. What is up, brother? We're just chilling and hanging. I love what you sent me today. I can't wait to do a proper video and show that collaborative effort off. I think it's so cool. 1931 Leatherworks. Let me see if I can pull this up. He texted it to me. Did you put it on your Instagram by chance, buddy? 1931 Leatherworks is doing all the sheaths as part of the frets. So if you order a fret, it comes with a 1931 Leatherworks sheath. And there's pocket dropper sheaths is kind of the way it's set up. And they are done. If I can find this. Here's the one from the knife, the first one that I got in. He sent me one today that's 2 different colors. His sheaths have just gone to the next level. But I don't think he messaged that to me. It was Shane showed one. If y'all were in Shane's live, but I know what we can do. Hold on, guys. I know exactly where it is. It's right when the live started, because I had not joined yet. Let's go to YouTube. And these sheaths just look, to me, amazing. And I've got one coming my way now. So yeah, frets will come with leather, 1931 Leatherworks sheaths. Be sharpened by Clinging Works Sharpening. They've been touched by a lot of people to make them happen. So I think that's just an extra bonus. So I forgot he was shadow banned. Let me find that goob. Here he is. Go live. Mail call. Let me share. I want you to look at these sheaths. They're so banging. And the frets look pretty good too. So this is
last night, I think, had a little more pink and purple in them than black. Every time you cut into that, it changes a little bit. It's kind of like this block right here.
where's he?
But, you know, this is a.
I'm excited about seeing it.
Look at that.
That's mine. God, I love his sheaths, man. Look at that.
So that's Ryan's. He's going to let
Crikey,
me
she's a
film it.
beaut.
And there's some
got a
more
fresh
purple that are being
concave
made.
edge on it. These are glow pins. I tried to do glow pins last night, and I don't know if that new powder I got worked or not.
He's got another
It
one he's
didn't
going to
glow
show real
before it was
quick.
cured anyway.
Now I
I'll
want to
check
share
them
with you
tomorrow
guys.
night
This
and
is
see
some
if they glow.
Javon shilling.
I love those scales, man.
Yeah.
Look so
They are
good.
pretty. And I've got more of this, so you know, if you were excited about this
This
color,
next knife, when I saw the pictures of it,
you know, Ryan didn't buy
I thought
the
it
only
was
one like
wood.
this. There's
It's
going to be
not.
more. They're all a little different though. Like the ones I did last night, I think had a little more pink and purple in them than black. Every time you cut into that, it changes a little bit. It's kind of like this block right here. You know, after when you
I got to add that your scale game.
and
okay,
I'm sure the next one I'm going to say, man, this is the best thing I've seen Terry do yet. You know, we did have a plan to put my maker's mark on one side, and I feel bad because Terry spent the money and ordered the stamp, but something's happened and it hasn't came in yet. But yeah,
Has
he's
he
about to show
tried
another one.
to wet form one of those sheaths
yeah,
yet?
he does wet form most. I don't know if he did these or not. It doesn't have a hard outline, but you can see.
I'm trying to go forward, guys, to
It's
see where I
forward.
can find it.
It's perfect, man. There's just there's retention. It's not just falling out, but just a little, maybe 3 or 4. If you bury it all the way in, it's about a 5. Well, I don't know. It's probably a 7
All
or 8.
right, I'm about to
ounce.
give up on. No, there. I think I just saw it. I think it
But
was
yeah,
before this.
it's perfection, man.
I like
It
it.
works perfectly.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Terry, I kind of last minute decided to
He
move it
showed
up to
another
7
one last
because
night, and
OCD
here you go.
didn't get acid wash and tumble them and all that stuff. It's a little more of a rustic
He's unboxing the other one now.
hunting outdoors type knife. Here is package number 2.
Now this one I thought
Yeah,
was
man,
a wood handle.
Terry's game literally gets better every day, dude.
It does.
He just gets better and better.
I carry mine.
And
in
I
my
like
back
how he
pocket, but it carries in the
contrasts
front pocket
the-
really good too.
The leather that he mounts the clips in.
Right.
He always contrasts that color. I think it
agree.
it
And I like-
adds just a little bit of detail to it that's just kind of elegant.
And I didn't ask for this, but you noticed how yours was black for the dark. He's kind of
He's textured that one a little
yeah. Well,
Right.
he's just kind of color matching the sheaths of the knife, which I'm really
I got you.
impressed by. But this one, if Richard Hopkins is in here, this should be Richard Hopkins's fret. Now, guys, that is not a maple burl. It looks like it. It's beautiful, but it's also not as rotten and fragile as maple burl. Like you see that looks like a crack.
But that's an acrylic or epoxy. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys that because 1931 Leatherworks is killing it. Sorry, I missed the chat. We got Space Ghost channel member in the house. We got Cheeto Noodle Soup is in the house. What is up, brother? Who else has slipped in here that I missed? Kathleen, Miss Smith, how are you? Channel member, always here. Kyle Coonley, what's up, brother? You take your time, my friend. You're welcome anytime. We're about to unbox a knife that I'm convinced is going to be, and this is going to be the first unboxing. Again, you'll see a video come out where I unbox it, but I will say that I unboxed it before because the other one that came in, hey Scott, I haven't unboxed yet, but the one we're going to unbox is the Concept Hazard, which is a very unique locking system. So what we're going to do, a little Kaiser Seagull. This is the best budget knife of 2025. I'm convinced. Available in a lot of different handles. Very reasonably priced. You can get it in AEBL or 14C. Multiple deployment knife. All of them are just tuned, and it's deep hollow ground blade. I like it. So let's get back to this. So what we got here. Have y'all seen that knife? Anybody else showing it? It's a bally lock. Pull that open. That releases the blade. Then you lock it back. And people manipulate it. See people get on video to where they're doing crazy opening, closing, which again, is it my jam? I haven't carried it yet or gotten used to it. I can tell you the ergonomics. It's a full-size knife with a nice choil. S35VN blade, titanium body, and it's got this bally lock, which I know it's going to cut the tips of my fingers off because it's not real intuitive to get it open. For a two-hand knife, it works really well, but I've seen a lot of shorts with people just cutting up with it. That locks it down. It has no blade play. See that? That's what I'm worried about. But that just whipped it open. And when you lock it down, see that big tang right there, or tang stopper? That locks in, then your hand's on it. Nowhere for that blade to go. So will it be practical? Who knows? Is it interesting? I think so. I like seeing anything that's kind of different. And even Melissa Backwoods was using this thing. It was almost flipping it like a bally song. And I sent Richard a video, a slow motion video of somebody doing kind of some tricks with this knife, which I'll never do. But for a two-handed knife, I think it'll work really well. For a one-handed knife, the jury's out because I don't know. I'm under a camera. I'm not looking at it. I've got to figure out how to manipulate that bar with one hand without having the knife fly out of my hand, because it's got a short clip. That's one thing I noticed. So you can't really get your fingers up on it, but it's not a frame lock. So you could do a longer clip. Interesting. Be interesting to try it out. Called the Hazard. And I don't know who the designer is, because again, this is just an unboxing kind of first look. But one thing, it's got very little branding. It's got whoever the designer is, maker's mark on one side of this satin blade, and it's just got a little concept logo on the other side. But there were people, I mean, I guess if you just don't lock it up, the good news is it can't flip back on you as long as you've got your hand behind the blade. What I'd worry about is my fingers slipped over there. And it does lock up pretty tightly. So I don't know what the trick is to easily deploy this with one hand without. And that's what the guy in the video was doing. He was spinning it like that by this little handle. So I don't know. It's interesting. We'll check that out, and I'll share it with you guys. Concept was cool enough. I asked for this specifically after I saw the lock because I like seeing different stuff. And it's kind of like a different colored backspacer material. But again, the knife feels, from an ergonomic standpoint, it feels just like a really good tool if you like a bigger knife. I'm guessing that's a 3.5, 3 3/4 inch blade, just by the way it feels. And then you've got that generous choil and that really neutral handle. So we'll check that out and see how it goes. That's just kind of a preview unboxing. One of the bonuses of coming and stopping by Insomniac Sit and Spin. What is up, Ryan? Ryan Ellis is in the house, y'all. Got a couple of Lucky Dog knives. Andrew Kidd is sending me a River Dog. The one that I haven't checked out yet. I'm going to send it back to him, but I'm going to do a overview show and tell on it, see how it compares in size to these two. I think it's the same size as this one. I think Richard Hopkins has one. I could be wrong, but I'm going to do a little overview on that. His knives are so cool because they're made to look like a traditional knife, but small fixed blade, which is kind of my deal. And I think I've told this story ad nauseum, so I'll keep it short. But what I love about the way he brought these to market is he found a small custom maker that makes, small batch knives in Canada to hand make these for him. So, for example, the first run I got, mine's in 3V. They're doing them in 14, in 8 AEBL or 1520, I think, a couple of different steels. So they're able to switch out and do different steel runs because they're doing 9, 10 knives at a time. So I like that. It's got both the Lucky Dog logo and the blade steel on the knife. Super sharp. This is a little spade blade. This one's called the Ranch Dog. And then the one I carry the most, it's probably too small for a lot of people, is the Bulldog. It's got this ram's foot blade. This is also AEBL. Micarta handle, again, handmade by David Mary Customs and then sold and designed by Andrew Kidd, Lucky Dog Knife Company. But the jimping and the way that it slopes up make this little 4 3/4 inch knife the perfect box opener, utility knife. For me, a back pocket dropper, little fixed blade for what I use fixed blades for. Now, if I was going on camping trip, would this be my main fixie to carry? Probably not, but it's a great EDC. Little nice one. But I'm looking forward to checking out the River Dog. It's a spear point, a little bit different blade style, but again, using the same either combination of wood or micarta handles. I think he's even doing some, I don't know if he's doing another material or not, but anyways, be checking that out. So I'm looking forward to having some stuff to come in to look at and share with you guys. I've got some more of these budget knives coming in. Like Ryan's in the house now. One of the ones I requested was the Pyrite Light XL. So they came out with the Pyrite Light, which is, I think, one of the best values out there in a really great little button lock knife. Well, they did an XL version that's just for bigger handed people. So I've got one of those coming and a couple of other interesting CJRBs. And what I think is cool about CJRB is I bought CJRB when I was first collecting knives because the price point is usually under $50, maybe 55, 60. It's an Artisan Cutleries, Civivi or Artisan Cutleries, lower tier, right? And they just do some neat stuff. Like this is G10. This is called the, I forget what it's called. Something with an R. I want to say the Rook, but that's wrong. But they added this little fin to the bar lock. And I know I've showed this ad nauseum, but it's just a little bit innovative, right? So bar locks, we've all gotten used to pulling back like this. This one, you can pull back like you would a shark lock. Here, it's not a shark lock that's being used. It's just a little nub on the bar that gives you an optional way to deploy it. And they just make really thin, inexpensive, what I feel to be functional knives. Pyrite's one of my favorites. I had a Rhea early on. Probably one of the first 10 knives I had was a CJRB Rhea, a little small knife with one thumb stud. Y'all might remember that knife. But I'm glad that I've got a relationship with them to check out some some budget knives because I rarely get budget knives anymore, but I know that they're a very important part of anybody's knife hike. They were for me. If it wasn't for Civivi, Kaiser, CJRB, QSP, and others, I wouldn't have started collecting knives as ferociously as I did. I wouldn't have started, consuming them and checking so many out. Two Sons, another one that's just a great one to get started on. I don't tell anybody. If I had it to do over again, I would do it differently. I would forego so many of the budget knives that I bought because I did want to try almost everything that was out there because I was watching a lot of YouTube content. I wish I'd started using those same dollar amounts instead of buying a knife a week, buying a real nice knife every month. I started doing that, but I was kind of late to the game. I've told that story too. Dark Gravity is the one that gave me that sit down speech that, don't talk about not being able to get this knife or that knife that you say you want. All you have to do, you're proven that you can afford it. You're buying knives every week that cost, right under $100, somewhere around $100. Just change your buying habits. And I did. And I started enjoying collecting more, but I would not have gotten there. What's up, B Shady channel member? And one of the best posters on Instagram. We'll go check out his stout post here in a second. Richard shared the Lucky Dog Knives website. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, you guys feel free to share proper links. Proper links are just anything that YouTube terms of service. Promote your brand, promote your friend's channel, promote anybody you want to. We are an equal opportunity poster here. Just don't porn bomb me. I'm too old to try to unwind that. But very impressed with TRM and with the little holier nerd. And I talked to Sobek Scooter today because he shared a couple of things with me that in my video were not just inaccurate. One of them was a little inaccurate where I said the clip had gone to a new clip. They actually went back to their original titanium clip on the holier nerd. I switched it because I had titanium scales. If y'all watch the video, you'll see why. But what else I didn't realize is not only is the hole larger, but it's much sharper. So your finger catches it. You can feel that lip. It's almost got an edge where this one's a little bit more refined. It's rolled over. I can still slow roll the knife very easily. But the holier nerd, you can't miss it because it just grabs your finger. And again, this one's not broken in, but it's pretty easy to flick just because you can get so much traction on the outside of that hole. And these little guys in the shadow, all TRMs are very slicey. This is a very small knife, too small for a lot of people, not for me, because I would even carry it as a primary because it's so therapeutically slicey. The shadow's another one that's got the same blade shape. It's a very tall, flat grind. This one's Magna Cut. On my video, I just went into slice mode because it's just so pleasing to cut with. You don't even hear it going through the material. And that's blade geometry, guys. I don't know what the HRC is on this little Magna Cut blade, but I can tell you the blade geometry is done very well on these. Now, is it a hard use knife or any TRMs outside of the Redline fixed blade? Probably not. But for an EDC knife, this, the Neutron, the full-size Atom, the Bulldog are all amongst the sliciest USA-made knives, even though Edgy shared with me, and I think it's true, that the American Blade Works is thinner behind the edge than a TRM. I've not experienced, I don't know why that keeps changing focus. I don't know how that translates to cutting because I've never experienced one. I hope for Michael to send me one to check out and send back to him soon. What's up, Kyle?
How we doing, guys?
Let me turn this up. I had to turn it down because something came on really loud that I wasn't expecting. Do you see the crazy knife I unboxed?
No.
Have you seen the Kaiser Hazard with the Bally lock?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because it's different is why I think it's cool. But for a two-handle knife, I want you to look at this tang thing. I want you to look at how thick. See that tang?
Okay.
There's no rock at all. So that's how that locks. And I've seen people like Melissa Backwoods has a short where you see people, because they call it the Bally lock, if you hold on to this real tight and pop it open without throwing the knife, there are people that spin it, that open it and close it that way. I never would because I really don't want to cut myself with it.
That seems like a disaster waiting to happen. Why would you not just get a back lock or like a shark lock?
Well, I think they call it the Hazard, and somebody designed it. I don't know whose, because I just unboxed it just now, but it's got somebody's maker's mark on it. And I think it's a new lock, right? I mean, that's a new type of lock. And like I said, I've seen people.
Kind of, but isn't that similar to like the, was it 8010 or 8015?
No, not at all. Not at all, because hey, Shane, this is all right here. Just a little piece of metal. I think it's a new type of lock.
Sometimes innovation is not good though.
Exactly. That's why they put them out.
Shane, are you annoyed?
Huh?
Are you annoyed? You look like
No, I'm actually interested in that. I slightly disagree with you. I agree with the statement that sometimes innovation's not good, but I mean, if they made it work, even if it's not something I want to own, who knows what it leads to in the future? You know, it's just like innovative stuff in racing that we don't need on our cars or trucks in our driveway, but it could lead to something better in the future. So I don't hate it.
Well, what I like about it,
I'm not a fidgeter, so I have no interest in that. But
I get that, and I agree with that sentiment. It just, I don't see that being.
I can see a part of the community being excited about it, though. You know, the really
well, yeah. There's
the
definitely
heavy side. You know, like Vu seems to be having a lot of fun with it, and that it kind of fits his personality. You know.
See, I don't ever feel comfortable with the Bally song or that type of lock, but I don't think Concept said, let's make this lock. I think whoever this maker's mark belongs to, whoever their collaborative partner is, probably came up with it in his shop, you know? And to me, that's kind of cool because I think with what I hear more of is that looks like that or that looks like that. And we see so much of the same stuff that anytime something breaks out of a normal mode, whether it's something that I could personally say, I want that Midgard Messer, just the fact that somebody made it and it's such a ridiculous tool, I can kind of get behind that. Not necessarily with my dollars. Hey, man.
Kind of like that Midgard knife they made that the blade is longer than
the handle.
And all. I mean, I don't think it. I can't imagine what purpose it serves, but it's cool that somebody went through the trouble to figure out how to make it work, and maybe, you know, in a different tool that will, you know, come in handy.
Well,
I agree with that.
Kind of like, even though they sold it, it's kind of like the big out the front that Heretic had to help draw attention to their other ridiculous stuff that Midgard makes.
Yeah.
But when I walked around with Dark Gravity 2 years ago and his son was looking for a zombie sword, I found so many that I would never have known existed, companies that sell hand-forged, very expensive swords that have no practical purpose except chopping a zombie.
Right.
Literally. And there are people
lined up.
Interests
me, though.
Yeah, me too.
I love to hold that shit and grip it and think, man, I just ordered because of Pete and Cedric Nada. I just ordered my very first cold steel Spetsnaz shovel. I don't need that fucking shovel.
I love his new videos. The way he's doing them.
Also the thoughts of splitting a pumpkin or something else, kind of that shape and density, open with it. It's fun.
I'll tell
It's
you.
fun. That's all, and that's what that knife is. It's fun. You know, did they come up with this innovative lock and then have all the tolerances perfect and the HRC perfect? Probably not, but
No,
that's
but they're
not
checking
what
it
makes
out.
it fun.
What I was getting at, Shane, was I agree with it's good. And I think, I mean, obviously innovation is important, but innovating just for the sake of innovating without having any reason or
Oh, I get it.
application.
That was your first question was why? I mean, what?
Because perfect example. I think one of the most creative, innovative people in the community or in the industry is Brian Winters.
Yeah.
Do I like his knives? Not really. I think a lot of them are stupid. I think they're cool, but I think they're stupid. Like it's a battle. Like, yeah, it's very innovative, but
there's stuff that exists.
The factor I really wanted, the factor I think is a very cool knife. Now, some of his other ones are different. I'm about to pull this off the screen, but I had to show off Colin's knife again. This is a Mag 10 Knife Works EDW.
I thought it was a TKL.
No, I've got TKLs too. Hey, I'm going to have Tim on here. You know who's going to visit us Friday night, I think. I've got to confirm it tomorrow. But I think Jacob's going to come on.
Good.
And I hope you guys are here, because I do want to ask him some questions, because he's one that is always, for his entry-level knives, he doesn't think there's anything that, because of its ease of sharpenability, which for people that use his knives, he says that's very important, that there's not a steel for the price point.
I'll give you that.
I don't know that though. I'm thinking maybe you could.
I agree. I mean, if you're trying to sharpen it on a piece of sandpaper, oh, yeah, I guess it does. I guess that could be but should it be a deciding factor?
But no, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think so. But we have different passions, so that's okay.
Right. But he might not have explored, like some people might not realize, okay, it might not be as easy to sharpen on a rock, but if it doesn't need to be sharpened on a rock because it holds an edge till you get home from your trip, and it's not costing me, I can still sell it for 140, 150 bucks, right, and have my whatever my margins built in there.
Because there are still a lot of people out there, man, that have that old I forget the name of the company that makes it, but that sharpening puck.
Yeah, that's for like axes. It's more for axes, right?
Yeah, but you can use it on your knife. And there are people out there who don't want a knife that they can't sharpen with that thing. Hey, man, I get it. They're probably not going to buy my knife, but I'm also probably not going to buy theirs.
Kyle, I'll tell you something that's expensive that a lot of people buy that are outdoorsy, not maybe YouTube knife guys, but that duckstone, that's ceramic from Spyderco.
Yeah, the thing sucks.
Does it? I mean, but that's not, think about it. If you're an outdoorsman and you've got an 80 CRV knife, would that be something that would help? The TKL new folder does look nice. It's got interchangeable blades, and it's going to be
Duckstone may have been great back when Spyderco was primarily VG10.
You don't need it, is my point. So, first of all, if you're going, let's get back up. If you're going to have something in the field, that is not meant to completely sharpen knife. It's meant to hone it back because it's ceramic and it's a higher grit. And back to Scott's question real quick. Scott, yes, I can. Everything's got a price though. Secondly,
I don't think that blade's hardened. Pete said that today. He said he didn't think it was hardened still. It literally made like 10 cuts in the Twisted Sisal road.
Going back to the outdoors and honing, you can do that with any reasonable, decent hone. There's no reason to spend that kind of money to get the Spyderco Duckwing or whatever the hell it's called, because it's expensive. It's like $200, and there's
and I don't know if it's something about the angles. I think that's the science, the marketing behind it.
The field sharpener is $30, and it does as good, if not a better job.
Exactly, the field sharpener.
Because the field sharpener exists, in my opinion, because it exists, I don't think I can sharpen this on a rock, or I want something that's easy. None of that matters anymore because the field sharpener exists. If you don't have a work sharp field sharpener in your bug out bag, your get home bag, whatever, or even if you're not into that, if you don't have one of those for whatever trip you make to the woods, you weren't prepared to get good, in my opinion. Or hell, even as far as that goes, take the damn coarse plate off of it so that it weighs like an ounce, and throw that in your backpack. I've got one in every bag of home just about.
But what the cool about the course plate is you can roll up dollar bills and put them in between there. You know, it's got that little place that you can stash shit in between it.
But you can also do this too. I could take a 1 inch by 6 inch stone, super glue a piece of leather to the back of it. Now I've got a hone and a strop in the field that's much better quality, and it's going to be a lot less expensive.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if Kyle is good enough at sharpening to be able to do that in the field, you have to be that good at sharpening to sharpen a cheap steel in the field too. You still have to be able to maintain an angle and all that stuff. So if you're not good at maintaining an angle and getting a good edge to begin with, none of this matters.
Yeah, because you hear about people sharpening on the top of their window on their car or on their coffee mug, and it's not cutting the honing.
Yeah, I've done it. I've swiped the blade across my windshield a few times because I was in the middle of something and it lost its bite. It does work.
That's the difference, though. People think that that's sharpening. That's not sharpening. There's a huge difference between sharpening and honing. And honing is just realigning the edge. It's not resetting that bevel. When you're sharpening, you're actually resetting a bevel and getting completely all the way back to a new apex and a new burr. Honing is all you're doing is realigning that edge, and then you're using the strop to take off the last little bit of burr.
Correct.
So the fact that, yeah, you can do that on glass or ceramic mug or all that kind of stuff, depending upon, obviously the steel, it's going to take different time frames, but you can do that. The fact that people think they need more than the field sharpener, and that's got guided angles on it, and it's a tenth of almost, or a seventh of the price of the Spyderco one. That's crazy.
It's under $30. I think on Amazon it's usually under $30. And
now here's where people get the field sharpener wrong. They're telling people to use that as a sharpening system, which it is not.
I've used it to sharpen slip joints back when I had my work sharp, and it was lower angle than I wanted, but I wouldn't use the guided part. I liked it because I could control it.
I used it to put edges on knives that didn't to completely sharpen a knife. I used it for that. The problem was I got about 4 knives done and I wore it out.
That's what I was getting at. Is those plates are so thin, they're not designed to be long time.
Yeah, I don't depend on it for that. Like I said, it lives in my backpack. And if, because I own nicer knives, if I need to sharpen them, I can.
I used to have the one from Benchmade. I ended up giving it away to somebody, but it's similar to that.
It didn't have the diamond part, right? It just had the hones.
I can't remember. I left it in the thing. I never took it out of it.
But what's one thing you can do now, and they're not, I think they're like $8 or $9, but they sell those work sharp replacement plates.
Right.
But for the price of how often you're replacing this, just get a
new work stone. Yeah.
I agree with that 100% because they're not high quality. They work good for what they were designed to do. If you're cleaning an elk and your knife goes dull 3 hours in, you can take 5 minutes and touch it up and get back to work. That's what it was designed to do. It was not designed to buy it, sit down on a Sunday and think, man, I'm going to sharpen every knife I own. But you're not going to make it through the day.
And that's the thing, John. You were using it for slip joints, which were most of them are going to be in softer materials. They were going to be very, very small blades. So you could get a lot of blades done on one of those stones.
And to be honest with you, I don't think I ever had to use the coarse side of the stone. I could do it just on the fine diamond and on the hone or the strop.
Right. And see, that's the thing, is that if you're maintaining, quote unquote, your knives, you're not letting them get to the point where they're so dull that they need to get back to stones unless you've done that 4 or 5 times.
Or if you've got a chip, which happens, chips happen.
Right. But even then, you can get 90% of the edge sharp and just have one chip and still cut well. It's not going to stop you from cutting.
Yeah, but if you got OCD, it'll drive you flipping crazy.
Yeah, but you're cutting paper. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we're talking about if you're in the field, that's still going to cut and it's going to be doing its purpose. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
If you're dressing a deer, you're not going to hang up on that chip.
Right.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. No, but Sobek Scooter and I talked today. He's the one that told me a couple of things that I wasn't aware of, that not only this hole's bigger, but it's so much sharper on your finger. Did you see that hole of your nerd chain?
I did.
I put the scales on it.
kind of our resident TRM expert, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sobex is the one that got
Obviously, he's
me.
a super fan, man.
He got me into TRM back when we were in Grateful Panic's lives. He was passionate about them back then when we talk in Clubhouse or whatever. I've still got my Clubhouse account. I wonder what goes on in there.
I think Scooter's actual last name is Halpburn.
Hey, they know him, and he knows what's going on. That's for sure. I mean, he's plugged in those guys, and they definitely know him. I called him out, and when I saw him,
I know you're being funny, and your thing is funny, but yeah, it does bring up a good point that we're a very small fraction of a percentage of the population that give a shit about any of this. You know?
absolutely.
Yep.
We talked about that.
I sent Kyle's knives. He may have one of mine now that absolutely did not need an edge, but it didn't scare me when I checked it, so I sent it to him to have him sharpen it anyway. Do normal people do that? Probably not. You know,
But that your passion is heat treat, cutting geometry, and edge retention, right? So you got a specific purpose that you're building your knives for.
Right.
Sobex told me when he's got a block.
touch back on the thing that, and guys, I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to disrespect Jacob, because I'm not. Because he's years ahead of me in grinding. I hope to get to where he's at eventually. But if your fan base wants softer steels because they're easier to sharpen, then I feel like you're failing them a little bit. Like, you should be providing them with a better steel and show them how it's just, you know, it's no harder to sharpen. It takes a couple extra minutes. The result is an edge that lasts a whole lot. Show them that. Now, maybe it's unfair for me to say that because I spent 5-6 years building a very small YouTube channel, and my people know that. I've got people like Todd Carr in here. There's nothing I can say that Todd don't already know. But, you know, I wouldn't feel right convincing you guys to buy my knives in 8072 because they're easier to sharpen. I would feel like I need to educate you on how to sharpen this better steel.
Well, and the point
Bingo. It's
you
education.
need to be able to share with Jacob if 14C is the same price.
I'm not comfortable trying to convince Jacob of anything.
Not convince him. Not convince him. When he's a guest, he'll be here talking about what he does. But I think to ask those questions helps.
I don't think that's something you want to do publicly.
No.
I just don't. I understand your point of view, John, where you're coming from.
It's content.
At some point, I know it is,
and he gets his story out there too. I mean, whatever
but at some point, somebody's going to feel somebody's going to get a little jaded. Do we get jaded, you know, amongst this tight little friend group when we don't agree on things? I just don't think it's a good idea. If he comes on, I'd love to come on. I'd love to highlight everything he does that I agree with, but I'd like to not touch the things that I don't.
Well, maybe just learn if he talks about why he does
I would
it.
never want him to feel like I'm backing him in a corner.
Right.
And
No. And anytime that questioning would be opened up, or if I knew that's what people were interested in, I'm talking to that maker about what to expect. I'm not the gotcha guy.
Right. But still, here's the thing, John. You're gonna put him on here with Shane and I, who are pretty steadfast in our convictions on the steels. And if that gets brought up, it's gonna seem like it's a 2-on-1 ambush.
You're right. But
I think it would be hard to pull off.
I do it behind the scenes
without
accidentally
offending or disrespecting somebody.
Well, but my point is, I would love, because he critiqued your knife and was, you know, took the time to do that. I would love for you to talk to him just call him at the office and have him call you back when he gets in the shop, and just have that conversation about one thing I don't understand, or one thing that help me understand is why you don't do this. That would and just
like I said, John, I've got enough Pro Cut right now to make nearly 20 knives, and I still don't know. I shouldn't have bought that much because I still don't know that it's going to pay off, because, you know, at the end of the day, when the knife is done and I have to look at, well, okay, I saved myself. Let's say I saved myself $35. So if you're using the fret as an example, well, does that mean a Pro Cut fret should only be $245? That doesn't seem like enough price difference for me to even offer it. For me to get it down where I want it to be price wise, I just don't know if it works out. We're going to find out. I'm going to make them, and I'm probably going to make less profit than I should, because of using that steel. But, when you're already in that price range, in my opinion, I just don't know that it makes any sense to offer a lesser steel.
But and you say it's lesser.
All said and done.
I've heard that it's really good, and it's just like when Scotty and I were talking today, I'm not a steel snob. I'm the guy, I play devil's advocate usually because I've never had a problem with my Ace Biblios M390, which everybody else did, and I sharpened it.
In all honesty, John, I probably never would have either. If I knew nothing about it, I like the F5.5. If I'd carried that knife, I probably would have. The odds that I realized, man, this steel is inferior is very low because I don't.
Well, Sobek said on the sharpening, when you're sharpening it, you can definitely tell, even between MagnaCut.
Brian F. right now is trying to sharpen his joke, and he sent me a joke. It's pretty funny. He's like, "So is Kyle responsible for sharpening these?" Because he's clearly experiencing something he hasn't experienced before.
When we were in that hotel room on Thursday night.
Once you learn it, though, and you realize, it's literally just 5 more minutes of doing the same thing. If you have good stuff, and you have good stuff, I don't know what Brian has. If he's over there on Lansky with some Arkansas stones, he's in for a shit day.
Dude, we were having, we got to the point where we couldn't get no more out of that stone. I mean, that shit, was that K110? What was that we were sharpening? I know some of it was MagnaCut.
It was MagnaCut. MagnaCut and Crewware.
Crewware. There was the Crewware that was so.
I'll be the first to say this, and I know I'm stubborn about a lot of things, but I've gone down the rabbit hole of being a steel and sharpening nerd, and I know that doesn't affect a lot of people. So when I state things, it is stated based off of factual references that I can prove that have been out there in public and are accurate to me as far as what I've learned with them. Will that affect everybody? No, but I'm going to at least give you that information. What you can do with it, what you want. You don't have to think it's real. You don't have to even care. But that is my passion. So therefore, I'm going to give you all of that the best to my knowledge.
Because I agree with Scott in 100%. I'm not hung up on it. And when Sobex and I were talking about it today, I'm not, but I like learning about it. And I think I wouldn't have learned about it if I hadn't hung out with you two guys. And I think it's information that everybody should have because, like I say, I'm trying to work my way through that knife book of Laren's. And I know it's more scientific because they do their cut test through sandpaper. I forget what grit. But what you're talking about, y'all are talking factual information if it's done based on the metallurgical charts that are provided from the manufacturer. So the steels will perform to much higher levels. What I was trying to think, and I think we've talked about it, is if you're doing a whole bunch of knives, because of how quickly Shane has to quench, it might not be possible for big runs of blades to be done at higher HRCs. I don't know that.
It's not. That's been the whole point. That's why I don't badmouth those companies because it's not possible for them to do it that way.
So you couldn't adjust something in the heating to where your quench time, you'd have time to do it?
That's basic science, John. If it's 2,000 degrees inside that chamber, you can only get it so cold so fast enough. There's nothing
because they're vacuum. You said they pull all the heat out with a vacuum.
Yeah, but that's not as effective as plate quenching it.
Right.
Yeah. Can you do good heat treat? Like I've bragged about Spyderco's S90V for years. Spyderco's S90V is at a bare minimum 2 points too soft. They can't get it any higher because of the process that they use. It's good. It's better than almost every other piece of S90V out there, but it can be way better.
Well, that's what we try to classify as you can't compare custom heat treats to production heat treats. That's the main difference. The second part is that's where technology is going to advance, and you're going to see I think opportunities for heat treating to get better. I don't think that it's going to be the set standard where you can only get X amount out of a knife anymore. I think you're going to see more advancements when it comes to that.
Probably so.
Who do you think is going to lead those advancements? That's what I wonder.
That's going to be on a completely different level, unbiased to knife making, and it's going to trickle down to knife making.
Right. It's probably going to start with aerospace.
Aerospace, for sure.
Right. I got
and I'm sure it's probably already involved in aerospace and just hasn't trickled down yet.
But what's scary is that right now, industry-wide, not knife industry, I just mean industrial things altogether, is that everything is on a downturn. You know,
sure.
The reasons why your camshaft and your Chevrolet pickup trucks are wearing out within 100,000 miles is because they're heat treating them softer to begin with. You know, it's planned obsolescence. They don't want it to last.
They want you to have to replace
all those parts, man. I mean, I've seen the insides of a late model Dodge, and the lifters are chewed down to nothing. It's because they chose to not do as good a job, so that you'd have to buy another vehicle in 3 years. So I don't know what it's going to take to make people want to make better things.
Our economy is not based on it lasting forever.
Scotty, I disagree with that, because a lot of designers, that's to depict the difference between a designer and a maker, or just a designer. Because if they're just a designer, a lot of them don't care. They're going to pick what sells, what's the hype, what's the popular thing to use. They're not going to put the effort into thinking about what it means to
or they've got 3 stills to pick from that Best Tech offers.
Correct. Now, second hand on that, if it's a designer / maker, not all makers are going to pick the best thing. They're going to pick what's better for necessarily their business, and not necessarily what's ideal for that. Like we talked about before, like I don't think there's a reason to use 80 CRV2 or 14C anymore. There are plenty of designer makers doing that.
Yeah. Even if I was going to make a flathead screwdriver or a chisel or a pry bar,
I agree with the sentiment.
There's no reason for me to make even a pry bar out of 80 CRV2. If 14C is tougher and it won't rust, edge retention out the window, because it's not going to have an edge on it. It's just a tool for prying. If 14C is still better and it's $1 or $2 more to use it, that's what I'm going to use.
Yeah,
that's the part. That's where I get confused.
I think
there has to be an advantage, and without having an answer to that, the advantage comes purely down to profit margin.
Sorry, Scooter, I'll shut up.
And Scooter was talking about his Spartan Harsey, which I thought was interesting. When he got it in, it wasn't sharp. And I should let him tell the story, but he called Spartan. You know what they told him?
Right.
It ain't made to be sharp.
Right.
You know what it's made to do?
Right. Right.
I mean, so every knife has its own purpose, right? I mean, I would much rather have this hologram by Brian or have a really good edge on it because I like to cut. But when they designed this knife, that wasn't their intention, right?
Yeah.
And people bought it. Should they, change why they made it? I don't know.
No, that Spartan should keep doing what they're doing, because we can sharpen it, or we can have it ground different if we want to. It didn't stop anybody from buying that knife. They bought it and paid extra to turn it into what they actually wanted because of the design, the build quality, the heritage behind that name.
I want to touch base on this one last thing. Scotty, I wasn't shooting it down. I agree with the sentiment that it should be that way. They should think in advance about what they're making, what the use case for, and pick the correct option. I just don't think it happens nearly as often as it should. I'll leave it at that. So,
okay, let's just say this: if it came down to the ideal steel, in all honesty, I would have made the thugs out of Rex 121, simply because I've said it 1,000 times. That is not a hard use knife. It's not a hard use knife. It's not a hard use knife. So Rex 121 would have been the best thing to make that out of, to get that edge retention that I'm so passionate about. The problem is I can't get it. I can't buy it. So,
damn it, Scott.
I went with Crewwear because I really like Crewwear, but yeah, it's not all.
Well,
there are just limitations.
and some of the limitations, like let's take Chavez for example. He goes to Riyadh. I think he might be able to spec any steel, but it's going to radically change the pricing of his knife. They're going to give him the steels that he can choose
or the
from.
production date.
Exactly.
It could be 9 months if you go with this. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's going to change if we have to source this steel. Your prices are going to go up astronomically. So I think they're picking the best steel through the channels that they're handed because they're going through this OEM or that OEM.
Luke just dropped the best comment of the night. Dude, that's fucking funny, Luke.
I know.
1000% true and funny as hell.
He's a damn wealth of knowledge there. Him and Todd Carr, when they have banter back and forth.
Yeah.
So I want to discuss what you mentioned because I have some insight into that. So with the production, there are a list of steels that they can pick from. The pricing range is very nominal. There's not, like, for instance, M390 MagnaCut, any of your main S90, they're all within like under $5-6 of each other. They're not. I mean, it's not an expensive difference in
Per
price.
blade.
Per knife, right? So it's not very much when you think about, and even if you're talking about retail on that, it's only going to be $20 difference on from the low to high end. That's not a drastic price.
I want to make something in M398 so bad I can't stand it.
It's so
but
expensive.
There's no reason to. I've got to spend all that extra money to prove to somebody what it can actually do when it's done right. And the majority of people don't care to begin with.
What's the difference in the the M390 and the M398 if it's done right?
M398's just got a little more vanadium in it, so it's going to have more edge retention. But it's also
so it's a hyped up 20 CV, but you think if it was heat treated right, it'd be a good steel?
Yeah.
That's what it is too, but the problem is neither one of them will outperform MagnaCut, and they cost more.
Right.
D2 costs more than MagnaCut. So even if I make CPM D2 do the best that it can possibly do, it will be mind blowing. But are you going to pay more for a knife in D2 than you would have in MagnaCut or S90V or Crewwear?
Is there a lot of MagnaCut out there? Is supply not an issue? It seems to me that it would be a boutique steel.
It's not
it hasn't dried up yet, for sure. It's available most places.
Because I see a lot more production companies using it. Hogue has released a couple of models with it.
Well, they'll buy bulk when they're doing that. They bought that months ago. Yeah, they bought that months ago.
Yeah.
It just takes them that long to go through all of it.
When Tim Reeve ordered S45VN, he ordered 20 tons.
I can't think of how, like, if that's a coil on the back of a truck, how many tons is that?
No, that's not one coil. That's a lot of fucking steel. 20 tons.
Yeah, I can't get I'm sure it would feel like a warehouse, a small warehouse.
Yeah.
I know steel's heavy and it's dense, but I mean, I'm trying to think of what that would be. I mean, is that $250,000?
I don't have an educated.
$250,000?
I used to unload coils of steel.
$500,000?
Those big rolls that I would unroll, they were as tall as I am, and they were 18,000 pounds. So that was 9 tons. Yeah, it wouldn't be. In flat plates, it's probably 4 or 5 pallets full.
So is that what kind of investment is that roughly?
I'd say it's more than a quarter, but I'd have to do the math to figure out what the
okay. So it's a considerable investment.
Oh, it's a very big investment. It's probably closer to half to 3/4.
And the advantage is you're getting it so much less than if you bought it smaller.
Yeah, for sure. I was just going to say hello to 5 Door and Brian F. Brian, if you need me, call me on that.
What's up, Brian F? Scott Ian's throwing some good analogies.
I looked it off the back of a flatbed diesel truck, 5 Door.
you see Scott N's comment?
Right.
So I mean, and I'm sure. I guess I look for too much good in people that I just have a hard time thinking people are out there for just extra dollars to get. Now we've seen certain people that work with CKF that buy, branded gators and stuff like that are spending, it looks like, exorbitant amounts of money, but I don't think
you can't look down on them for being after. It sounds bad when you say it, but at the end of the day, very good knife company will no doubt go on to be a more successful company than Edgy America Blades because he's treating it more like a company.
No, it's not. I have anything to say about that.
Those dollars are required in order for him to get bigger and bigger, as big as he wants to get, and do whatever it is he wants to do. Where I'm not concentrating. I should be.
You should listen more.
Right, I should listen.
You will. You're evolving. You're evolving.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you don't have to take too hard of a hit into the dashboard before you go, okay, I'm ready to listen.
Right.
Hopefully, the airbag catches you.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, profit's not a dirty word by any means, and I don't want anyone to think that we don't want people to make money. That's not the case.
I'll just give you a round number. I don't feel like any custom maker should walk into the shop to make a knife and not at the end of the day be able to make at the very least, a crisp $100 bill for what he just did.
Shane,
because I know what it takes. I know what it takes to do it. If he can't make $100 off of that knife, and $100 might seem like a lot of money, but on a $180, $200 knife,
it doesn't seem like enough.
That number you can dip below 100 very quickly.
What you got to realize is
with logistics, just with little tiny things that I'm bad to blow money on without thinking about it. That Kyle gets mad at.
Where you're penalizing yourself now is because your time in the industry. You at some point need to look at what those other makers are selling those knives for, regardless of what you're making it for, and then go for more of a market pricing structure. Then this is what I'm cranking out, and this is what I feel is fair. I mean, I think you've got to run any business. And I didn't get to go to business school because I couldn't pass college algebra 2. So this is coming from a very uneducated place. But I feel like you have to kind of shoot for those market points more so than those performa points.
I give Shane this. He has listened very well as far as he came into the industry wanting to provide the best product possible for the least amount as possible. And he did that because he wasn't proven. And that is a business structure that a lot of people don't shoot for. And he can gradually increase as he gets better. But that is not something that most companies do. They come out shooting for the stars and they charge whatever. But I think that as the last 12, 13, 14 months as he's been making, there's been a significant improvement as even through ups and downs going through there. So the pricing structure can gradually increase as your fit and finish gets better and as everything gets better. But he's still, at the end of the day, he's not the business model that a lot of companies are, because he's trying to produce the best product for the least amount of money, when most companies are trying to make the good product and make a good living. There's a difference.
Right.
The only I don't have any issue at all with what Tim Kell's doing with any of those. The companies that aggravate me are the ones that are set. They've made it, and but yet they're still offering the same level of performance that they were offering 10 years ago. I don't think there's any excuse for tops not being better than what they are at this point. I just don't.
Microtech. I mean, I know you're not, but they sell for a lot of money. They've innovated by taking evidently somebody else's patents. I don't know if that's true or not, but they've done the same
That's
knives.
perfectly true.
They've done the same knives as long as I've been in, but I guess everybody that's successful kind of does their same knives. They're not bringing out a lot of new stuff. But Scott N, I do too. There are a lot of people that don't agree with that. I personally got the tipper from Concept because I couldn't afford a custom one, and thought it was great that they did a collaboration with Concept on that knife.
Watch his video to find out what it was he regretted about it.
No, but I need to.
I forgot all about it too.
You need to send me the
I know-
link if you can ever
I know
find
he
it.
kind of wishes he hadn't have done it.
I wonder how Scott feels about the bloom with Kubi, if he's happy he did that.
I don't know. Here's my thing about that his production knife. I would never buy the Kubi because it's just a Kubi fixed blade, and Aries EDC's knives, really no different than mine. There's nothing that special about the design or anything.
It's the handcrafted nature.
I'm going to buy a knife from Aries because of the high level of fit and finish. So I don't want it from fucking Kubi.
Well, I'd also rather give
knives even exist. I feel like lessen what he's done.
I'd also rather give him the full amount of profit versus just getting a small little tidbit from
Yeah,
Kubi.
to sit there and watch him hand sand those damn vertical lines, and the amount of times he spends hand sanding those scales and polishing them up to look like. I mean, I'm years away from reaching where he's at with that. I think letting China produce that knife at less than, I don't know, man. It just left no hard feelings towards him. It diminished what he's done to me. Yeah.
Y'all, this is, I think, Scotty, when was this? Because Tom Moore put out a post about bad Maximate steel Spyderco produced. The bird just snaps off and the knife can't be sharpened. Is this something he got recently? Because I know who Tom Moore is.
Well, there's a reason why Spyderco sold more Maximate as blims as they did.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready. I was typing it to Scott right now to explain. So, like, I've had a ton of Maximate and S90 come through. I haven't had issue, but I do know for a fact that they have had bad batches of it in the past, and that can happen. The issue with Maximate early on was that they were running it kind of optimal, and it was getting so hard that people were, and the information wasn't out about how it should be used, and people were breaking it, and they were getting a lot of hate for it. So they end up dropping HRC. It's still high. It's 66 or so, but it is much more knowledgeable now to people about how to use Maximate. It's not a side loading steel. You can't try to bend it or pry with it. It's a straight cutter, and it's great at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same area of toughness as this Rex 121 is. They're right there pretty close. It's just not for that. But Brian and Kathleen both, I hope y'all understand that the reason I said all that, I'm glad he's happy with it, and I understand that he wants to get it in more people's hands. It's just his level of fit and finish was so high that Kubi is never going to achieve that, and that's what I mean by it lessens the product. If I'm not buying a knife from Aries EDC because of the steel type, the heat treat. I don't give a shit about any of that on that knife. I love the how beautiful a product he makes.
Yep.
And the fact that there's a version of it made in China that's not even close to what he offers. I don't want it. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't want that. I'll wait. I'll pay the extra whatever to get what he's actually good at. In my opinion, if you're buying an Aries EDC knife, you're buying it because of the elevated level of refinement.
Right.
Why would you buy a Chinese version that's not that?
It's just a budget knife.
Yeah.
At that point, you can get any Chinese made fixed blade. It doesn't really much matter. The fit and finish is all going to be the same. The price is all going to be the same. I want the full amount of money to go to Scott because he's a good guy, and he deserves it because he puts in a lot of hard work and makes a great product. And if people, they can afford a $200 knife, they just need to save for it if that's what they truly want.
Yeah, and Brian, you're right. And this is something I hope I don't sound disrespectful saying this, but those aren't my people. They're never going to be my customer, so I don't care. I know they exist, and it's fine that they exist, and I'll point them towards something, the best product they can get if they need a cheap knife. But I don't think those people. I don't know, man. I'm not interested in trying to make those people my customers.
Just because of the shapes of your knives. Paulie's got a question for you, Edgy. I skipped him earlier.
I only am, Paul. I would say I doubt it, but I don't have a way of knowing for sure. I'm never going to stand on a soapbox and say it's absolutely not, because I wasn't there. You know, when the pallet came in, I wasn't there to backtrack exactly where it came from. I just know that from a business standpoint, it makes no sense for them to buy steels from the United States. Could there be designers? Could a Joseph Vero call Riot and say, "Hey, I want this steel, and I want it coming from Niagara"? If he's willing to be the middleman, it's absolutely possible that can happen. Does it happen on a regular basis? No. So I don't know. But dude,
Yeah, and
like the Mini Tempest, though.
And that's a, Brian
if
Nadu
you
might
like
be the
that knife,
top.
if you're happy with it, don't find a reason to not be happy with it just because of something I'm talking about.
Exactly.
there are certain steels like M398 obviously isn't coming here. It's coming from Europe because that's where it's made.
Austria, right?
Bowler. So you could have that potential of Riot doing that, but I would put it in the unlikely category. But I can't, again, like Shane said, I can't prove it. But
If you consider the vanadium that goes into that, the vanadium powder, it's just all powder milled distilled. The vanadium is already in China. That's where it comes from. That's
or
where
Africa.
Or Africa. It's one of the two. So you go down to the steel mill in China and you're going to take that vanadium and ship it off to another country to have them mix it and ship it back to you as a plate of steel. When right there under the same roof that vanadium is sitting, there's a smelting. Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it could be. And if you like the knife, Paul, be happy with the knife.
Scott, I remember I didn't go this year, but for the last 2 years, the Spyderco Seconds booth had mostly Maximet Para 2s. So I would think it's probably true that they had a lot of issues. I know that Dark Gravity, and a lot of people will say you're Dark Gravity, and he'll even say he was stupid to do it. His had a little bit of warpage in it, and he tried to straighten it out, which is just dumb, and it snapped.
That's user error, unfortunately. I mean, I love Tad, but that's user error. You can't do that.
He'll say it was user error.
Yeah, he should have never walked away. He should have never walked away from that booth with a warped blade. I did, but I went back and I got a different one.
Brian, I'm sorry if it came across that. I wasn't saying that. I'm saying for the price point you're getting, it's a. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There. It's you're supporting Scott, but I'd rather support him more by giving him more money than just a small, minuscule cut from a run of that.
John has how many frets have you been paid on, John?
I can't remember. Like 3?
I know of one.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3. Yeah.
And I'll tell you this right now, without getting into numbers, John has made more off his first fret than Scott did off of 10 blooms or more. No, I bet it's more than that. How much does the bloom sell for?
I think there's 70. But I think Brian, what he says is true, and what Kathleen says is true. That Scott has been very happy to have them both out there.
I get that.
That's great.
I think one of the things that it could do, and this is just me looking at the other side, is maybe bring people that wouldn't have ever known about an Aries EDC knife, that once they get his production knife, want one of his customs, right? So that could help him expand his reach to people that,
but I don't know that he needs it right now. I mean, I know people who want one
his
right
books
now
aren't even open, are they?
that have never been able to acquire one. So.
And that was another reason I think that he said on my show that he was excited that they were doing it, is because he felt like he was letting people down by not being able to meet the demand.
Right.
So
Rick.
I'm just saying, me personally, I don't want one that Scott didn't take the time to refine to the level that he refines them, because that's the only thing I love about that knife. We could be having the same conversation about his choices in steels, but we're not, because I don't care about that in his knife.
Okay, so here's my stance on it, and I know this is not how it works, but to me, it's a monetary thing. If it was this would never happen, so this is hypothetical. If it was a complete 50-50 split with Kubi and he was getting $35 a knife, I would consider it because that's what he deserves for his design. Now, if it was getting the percentage that he's going to get from anyone's license that you're not making enough, to me, even in volume, to make it worthwhile to get away from your original company or your original custom design.
But it's not.
I understand where he's coming from as far as wanting to get more reach, and that's great. I get that. I just want him to make more off that design than he's going to by going that route. That's all.
Yeah, I think I hear exactly what you're saying, that they should have a better profit sharing. But is it taking anything out of his current business to have that knife out there, possibly attracting more people to him?
I'm not saying that it's making his business worse. I think he's getting more blooms out there, unfortunately, that he's not getting the full monetary credit for it. If that makes sense at all.
It does. And I look at the flip side of that. He could make 5 knives a month. So those blooms wouldn't be getting out there if he didn't have a production partner enabling that, right? Think about it, because you can't make more just because people want more.
Right. There's only so many hours in the day. And that's something that you have to account for in your business model as far as how many can I produce and what's my margin going to be able to make it worthwhile. And if they become popular, you can look at what ways can I increase that with the same amount of hours, whether he gets blades.
Because right now, guys, I'm just now starting to collect on a fret here and there. Those are knives that I bought the steel for and started making
9 months ago?
No.
Well, before Blade Show. So in May, I mean, I had a couple rough prototypes at Blade Show. So probably April.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I bought the steel for those thugs for Northern Knives, and it's already shocking me that I'm 6-7 weeks since that order, and they're not done yet. So time does matter, no doubt. I sent you a message, Richard Hawkins, but
hey,
time is important. I just happen to be, and so maybe I'm not even one that should be speaking on it, but I'm happy that I'm one of those people that I have the luxury of it being okay if I don't sell 30 knives this month. I don't know.
Kyle, make Sobex feel better.
What's that?
His comment?
Oh, Scotty, I was dropping a ton of Magnicut, never had an issue. I'm sorry, Maximet. Never.
And that's what Sierra Rick was saying too, that it patinas, but it is not too hard to sharpen.
And the weird thing about it is it actually polishes extremely well for being.
Just the horizontal load is non-existent.
Yeah,
so you don't want to bend it.
Have mine in here. I'll show you, but I put a 600 grit.
Give me a second.
Edge on mine, and it looks highly polished. It takes an edge very, very well. It gets keen, and it's very sharp.
That is true. You're crazy, and I can't. Nobody can get on the internet and defend that you can buy a knife for less than what you could take your family out to dinner for nowadays. But keep in mind, those knives, the profit margin doesn't matter to them in the beginning. Like they don't care if they lose money on every Chinese knife being shipped into this country. The goal is just like they did with boots and tools and everything else in the world. They'll lose money on it until there's no more competition, and then that shit will go right back to what it cost you for American made. Every other industry they've got involved in, that's exactly what they did. Decent pair of cowboy boots has always been $200 to $300 without going exotic. China come in was selling them for $70. People bought the shit out of them. All these American companies folded, went under, or sold out to China, and now that they're making them, they're $200 to $300. That's their long-term business plan for everything. There's no guy sitting at home stressing, how am I going to pay my mortgage because my products aren't making a profit? That doesn't exist over there. It's a communist country. The government is absorbing every bit of that because they own it all. We will never be able to compete with that. And it will be the downfall of the country, because we can't ask business owners to lose money for 20 years until they put everybody else out of business, and then they can make a shit ton of money.
Brian, I hope that's true, but I don't know if Kubi's selling thousands of his knives. But if that's true, I'm happy for him. I hope that's the case.
What did I miss? What we all just talking about?
He was just talking about percentage of people that, see the bloom from Kubi, and how many of those may translate into them buying one from him. But that's why I've always been so dead set hard against it. I'm not against people who participate and people who buy them and own them. I own a couple. It's just very dangerous waters that we're treading. And everybody always wants to throw in, well, you're talking shit. Why are you typing on your Chinese-made phone or whatever? That's the whole point. Knives and guns are two of the very few industries left out there where we still have a chance to hold on to U.S. manufactured stuff. And the only reason it exists in guns is because of gun laws, which we all hate. Everybody gets all mad when, we see them stopping the influx of, foreign ammunition because, they're depriving us of our gun rights. We're not going to get too deep into that, but that has propped up the U.S. produced, U.S. manufacturing of firearms.
And I totally agree with when you're buying, it's better to buy a knife that Maddie designed or that Aries designed or that
if
Ben
anybody
Belkin
got a piece of
designed
it, it's better
than just
Absolutely.
Kaiser or somebody else, because you are supporting, some of that money is coming back. And I want to say, did Lefty say 30%?
God, no. It's sub 10, John.
No, I'm talking about from a OEM.
What?
If you're designing your knives. Now, I'm not talking about what a designer gets.
That's more than 30 they're making off that. Considerably more. I thought you were talking about licensing fees.
No. I wasn't talking about licensing. Licensing is usually 5 to 10, right?
Yeah, 5 to 8.
Yeah.
OEM, you're making way more than 30 points.
I've always been a fan of Kubi knives.
Brian, I hope that's the case. I hope he sells 2,500. I just didn't know that those numbers were realistic. So,
yeah.
I'm seeing what I missed.
That's exactly how you should view it, Scooter.
Yep.
Regardless of what I say, Kyle says, John says, Lefty, Tri-State, anybody. If it makes you happy, if you hold that thing in your hand and you get some type of endorphin rush because of it, money well spent, man.
Exactly. And I don't think I don't ever get the impression that any of our discussions, to me, it's just, and I don't like to use the word content, but it's talking about knife stuff that people have interest in. I don't think it's saying you shouldn't buy this because you don't like it. It's just be aware of what you're getting, right? I mean, it's a bad thing. Some designs aren't great.
That Cheapfoot XL you sent me still brings me joy, just like my first one did. It's made in China. I get all that. I know all that. I don't care. But for some reason, that particular knife makes me a little happy. So I don't feel bad for holding it.
John, I think the difference is what we try to do is we try to give factual information, and occasionally we give opinions. And when we give opinions, we'll try to say that, hey, this is our opinion, versus preaching it as truth, where a lot of places preach everything as truth and it's all opinion. That's the biggest difference.
I agree with that 100%. And I do not like and you are right. There's some that do treat it like the law, that they're not, I'm not going to say the name. That's awesome, Paul. I was about to throw somebody under the bus. Edgy Mike Morton found me a slip joint to buy.
You're 100% correct. And that is the main reason why I jumped on Jack Wolf with both feet, because of what I was just talking about.
Hola.
Ben didn't even wait until he put U.S. manufacturers out of business before he went up in price. He has normalized He is the missing link. He's the step towards normalizing Chinese knives costing more than American knives. That's the watershed moment that they are looking for in order to take over everything.
Then why would Kaiser come out with this for 150?
That's still a lot from a Kaiser, but
Well, if you're talking about
because Kaiser's
299,
not marketing that knife. Ben Belkin is marketing his knives very successfully. He's a great marketer.
yeah, and I agree.
That same knife with JWK on it would be $300.
Right. And before Ben, Essex, I think they're U.S., aren't they?
No.
Was making knives about that price point. So that price point had kind of been established. Ben wasn't the first one to go there. It's NEX. What's
SNX? They're made in China too.
Right. They're made in China too, but they were that price point. They were out there before Jack Wolf's, if I'm not mistaken.
About the same time.
Ben says his knives are very fair priced. I have a large home and fluffy rat dog to pay for. I have a 12 by 12 room that I live in and a 07 piece of shit GMC truck. I guess I can get by on less money.
Hey, I fell down the Titanic rabbit hole. Holy fuck.
Whoa, hang on. No, he's not fronting that money. Scotty, he's got dealers, and those dealers pay for those runs ahead of time.
Right.
So those are pre-orders. He's not fronting that money.
Am I behind?
Yeah, you're way behind.
Yeah, you are way behind, John.
Yeah, so like when he has his dealer, he's making all this money because he's going through dealers, then going direct to consumer. But he's also getting pre-order money for those, so he's not taking on that risk.
Let me tell you how true what Kyle is saying is. I had that opportunity at Blade Show. Well, actually before Blade Show, and then again at Blade Show by the same person. I was told how much and when. All they wanted to know was how much money I needed up front to put my knives in their store. And I turned it down because that was a stupid business thing to do, but I don't want that. I don't want to know that I built any piece of what I'm doing off somebody else's skin in the game.
Todd Carr just nailed it. This is a knife that my buddy A to Z just bought. This is a Sanford Owen design.
That is a properly priced, excellently executed, excellently designed Chinese OEM knife. That's exactly where the market should be, right there.
And I'm telling you, this is kind of blowing the lid off because if you look at the sword, let me see, hold on.
If you look at that in a best set, goes over double that price.
Yes, exactly. And this is another one that won't show their OEM, right? They don't need to talk about it for a different reason. You know, I think Ben says he doesn't do it because he wants, why won't this open? He wants it to stand on.
That OEM very well could be Riot, but when you do business with Riot, if you're not willing to promote them to a certain extent, they'll still make the knife, but you can't disclose that they're making it. There's a lot of knives made by Riot that nobody knows about.
Two things.
None of that matters
John,
to me. It's a perfect
ads on
knife for what it sells for.
What, buddy?
You got ads on. I got a couple people talking about ads.
Hold on. Say what?
So do you have ads? We have a couple people talking about they're getting a bunch of ads.
Hold on, let me look.
Richard, probably. I'll say that. Probably so. You know, I have some limitations, but instead of me telling you all my limitations, send me what you're thinking and we'll talk about it from there.
Sorry, guys. YouTube usually gives me a thing to turn it off. They were on auto. I don't know how that got set. So sorry if you got an ad, but thank you for the revenue.
Yeah. If we're not throwing super chats up there.
No, if you get an ad now, let me know. I hate ads during lives.
I know, but you know, somebody's got to pay the bill somehow. So if we're not begging you to buy John dinner, then the ads are just, you know, they are.
I didn't stop by there tonight. I haven't been by in a little while. I picked up 2, Brian F. I started out with one and then got another one. And at the same time, I was in a slip joint rabbit hole. I acquired a couple of GECs. I acquired the ones I think are the best, and they weren't much cheaper, are 2 Viper knives that are Italian made. One of them's called the Twin. I forget what the other one's called, but they're micarta titanium M390. And I want to say they were around 220, 230, so they were a little less. But what I will say about the Jack Wolves is they're done so well. I mean, I can't knock the
Nobody has
grind.
ever heard me knock the quality of those knives. The sharpness, the blade geometry. I've questioned the honesty behind where the steel comes from, but I've never knocked the level of refinement that you get from a Jack Wolf knife.
The only thing that I
don't do that.
The only thing I've said about the fit and finish was he was saying that they were handmade.
Absolutely.
Now you take what Scooter just said.
That's what I was putting. That's why I had it on.
You want to? Can anybody give me any reason why a Jack Wolf would cost more than Aurelia?
No.
There's just not ways. Pure. Put your.
That's probably the best design knife. Taking everything else out of consideration, that knife reminded me, and not for the right reasons, because I don't have a lot of experience with them, but the refinement of a Chris Reeves, and just, I mean, it's just an awesome.
There's no reason for a Chinese knife to cost more than that for a basic Thai knife. Like it's contoured.
Scott, he tried to close it with his thumb. You know how people are popping open with his thumb.
It is phenomenal. I've got people probably in the chat that I recommended because I was fortunate enough to have the prototype of this early on before they got made, and said, "Hey, I know you don't like Chinese. You buy mostly American. Buy it. You have got to try it." And then they came back and said, "Hey, that if it was the USA mid-tech, it would be my best knife in my collection, or one of the best knives in my collection."
That's a $500. That's a $500 US made knife all day.
Absolutely.
It's so much better than an Archer. I mean, an Archer is $599, right?
The art.
Derek's going to jump up here in about 20 minutes and show us something that he's been working on.
But Derek, you blind as hell. You ain't got no choice but to do anything but listen.
He's going to be jumping up here.
Watch if you wanted to.
He's jumping on at 11 to show us some stuff he's been working on. He and I have been talking about it.
So back to what we were saying, John. Them saying that they're handmade, or hand fit and finish, it's ridiculous.
I've never heard that, but I'm not doubting that he ever said that. So yeah, I think to say that anything coming from over there is handmade or hand finished. Now, were there some companies that you could get a hand ground? Was that Demco?
I can, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely are companies that are doing hand ground knives. But I'm saying, like, those knives made in China, they're not doing handmade knives or hand fit knives.
But could they be hand grinding them? Because I don't. Again, could he maybe have said that?
What do you consider hand grinding, though? I mean, John, even if a robot does it, somebody has to use their hands to put it in the jig and snap it down and turn. They could be called that hand grinding.
True, that's semantics.
Standing in front of a hollow grind wheel.
You're right.
It's possible. Yeah, they could be.
Scotty, and that's funny.
Yeah.
If you want to get down to the semantics of it, yeah. But I'm talking like actually sitting there, sanding.
Like Great Eastern Cutlery does, putting them together.
Right. An actual skill, an art.
Man, I'll tell you that I did one video on it. Not a lot of people watched it, but there's a guy in Alabama. I forget his name, but his company's called Deer Lick Ridge Forge. And he is a custom slip joint maker. And I got to bring one of his knives home from Knives and More to show it off. And it had 5 blades. And when you look at how this knife was put together, and these are all put together by hand. I know
I can't stand multi-blade slip joints.
Me neither. But when you look at it he does single blades too. But when you look at it from a engineering standpoint,
yeah.
Hold on, let me find one here. I mean, he's got beautiful single blades too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, see that skinny that blade is, so that fat handle, that drives me nuts.
Tori,
I understand what you're talking about. You're talking about
I'm not into them. I'm not.
craftsmanship is amazing.
But when you look at something like this in person, and you think that this guy ground each blade,
Yeah.
he got them to where when you look at this top view, look at that.
Well, at least he put it by. At least he's modeling it with a 1911. At least he took a 100-year-old knife design and laid it beside a 100-year-old
But
gun.
do you see those cuts and how those blades lay in there?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't see how you would ever do that.
Yeah.
It's an artist, man. Those are
I hate to quote him. I hate to quote him, but just like Donnie Bless says, just takes patience. You just got to be willing to spend the time to make that happen.
People like me don't have the skill set, the aptitude, patience is way down the list of things that I'm lacking.
I have no desire for that because I don't like slip joints necessarily, but I think that's gorgeous. And I'm, hats off to the gentleman. He's very, very good.
And I can completely what does that knife cost? That
probably
one like this is probably $900.
It's worth every penny of that if that's your thing. And I know dozens of people who would be proud to walk around with that in their pocket. I get it. I'm just not one of those guys.
Me neither. I'll tell you the ones I've really been looking at, and it looks like he's changed his blade style, are these Kinnison.
I love Kinnison knives. The designs. I like the I can't remember the Bulldog is the one I like.
Tori. I'm spelling it wrong.
Tori, Keanison. Tori, way back in the day, he did on there because I remember having that conversation with him.
Go ahead, Kyle. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm just going to say.
That's badass right there.
Is that not sick?
Yeah. In this one, that's what a lot of people don't realize, see, Rick. TJ Schwartz actually designed the Arius.
Who did?
TJ Schwartz.
That name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure I'm putting it with the knife that it came from.
He does a lot of like the TJ Schwartz Overland fixed blade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the one I just.
Do you remember my Trailhead, my camp cook knife, one of the first knives I ever made?
Yes.
That was 100% TJ Schwartz inspired. That's where I was trying to make a TJ Schwartz-esque blade when I made that, and I'm still heartbroken that the knife wasn't any more popular than it was. But people who have them say that they're great. They love them. Cole claims he uses his in the kitchen every day.
I love that blade shape. That's the Bull
I think
Terrier.
That blade shape is so sexy.
Is that the Bull Terrier?
What's that?
Is that called the Bull Terrier? Is that model a Bulldog or Bull something?
It doesn't say. It just says last 3 inlay. Let me see if I can go back and find it.
I love that blade shape, though. Those are stunning.
Yeah, I mean that is just a beautiful, unique. It doesn't look like anything else. The hole makes me a little nervous that it may be a hot dog down the hallway experience.
Paul, calm down. I saw you put 4 flames up there. You can't buy a Kinnison right now. Write it down somewhere. Prepare for the future. But I know your wheels are already spinning. You're already thinking of how you're going to pay for that fucking knife.
Yeah, I never did either, Tori. I've been around Ben a lot, and I've never heard handmade. I've always thought they were production, but I haven't watched everything he's been on.
Well, I just put it this way. I remember a lot because there was some heated conversations, so I remember a lot of our back and forth. Specifically, I know I am probably the sole reason why he switched to S90 from M390 because I gave him so much shit over it.
Yeah, I agree, 5-door. I'm way behind. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, Richard, I tried to get into him, and for a while I was. I mean, I went kind of crazy on him. But like I carry one in my left pocket every day, and I probably never cut with it. It's just weird. Show you something.
Because I struggle to open them. I know this is not a good example, and you are sick of seeing this gas station knife. Like it really is all I can do to pinch that hard enough to open it.
That's a stiff walk and talk, dude.
It's not even a walk and talk. Like there's no snap. It's just, it feels like the metal's bending.
Feels like you're bending it open.
Yeah, and again, this is one of those knives. There's no reason for me to like it, but
John,
it makes me a little happy every
They
time.
shouldn't be back. Let me show you. Let me show you what I've got. Because if they're back, that's just YouTube hosing me. Because I've gone over here.
well, I'll tell you what,
And
they've
turn
been
them
absolutely they've been hammering ads on people lately because I've been watching videos, and I'm like I told you the other night, I got like it was a 9-minute video, and I got 2.5 minutes worth of ads in a 9-minute video.
And one of John's or somebody else's?
No, somebody else's.
Okay.
see, these are turned off. What I've got the option to do, just so y'all know, YouTube by default sets it on. They used to make me say if I want to, I go to manual mode, which the only way an ad can be inserted is for me to go over here and push this ad button. I can do scheduled, and I can schedule them every 15 minutes or automatic. So if I turn them on manual and I don't pump that button, you shouldn't be getting served an ad. And I haven't pumped that button. So
You're fine. I just like know what people are saying. And it could be YouTube just being greedy as hell because that's what they've
it's
been
just
doing.
YouTube, man. They're trying to make their money.
I was going to go vertical tonight to see how many people we could pull in here. Shane, you're getting like tons of people in your lives.
It's really weird. I got 88 tonight.
Who?
88.
But by tomorrow you could have 17,000.
No, you get almost all of them instantaneously. Saturday night, I think it was Saturday night when I went live, and I had to end it and start it right back up. The first live got 17,000 views. The second live got 20,000 views. But then tonight, same format, didn't change a thing. I had 88 views. It's weird. You never know.
Is it?
Like
You know what?
sometimes it's just YouTube decides the algorithm will just snatch a video, throw it into everybody's algorithm to see if they watch it. And I know the majority of people that watch mine don't watch for long.
Nice, Brian.
All right, I'm going in here and I'm turning it. I went and turned it to scheduled, and now I'm turning it to off again to see if it just didn't trigger. Manual, save. So it should not do it. If it's doing it, I apologize.
I'm poor as hell, and I've got YouTube Premium. I will never.
I had it on trial, and then I couldn't get it.
Never go back. Not do it.
I ain't paying $23 a month for it.
I don't think it's that much, is it?
It was either 18 or 23 when I looked
I
it up
think
the
it was
other day.
like 18 or something. I couldn't do it because I couldn't use my credit card.
$35 a month. I ain't going back.
I should, but it's principle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And creators do get paid if you've got premium. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. What's up, YouTube Music Portal? Channel member, good to see you, brother. I've got a lot of small maker fixies.
I'd like to personally thank you for supporting those guys too. That's awesome.
Supporting what guys? Small makers?
Yeah.
Hey, are you familiar with Marlboro Handcraft? Is that a name that you've heard?
Mm-hmm.
I've got one of his and these are all knives that were traded to me. Five Door might have traded one of these for me. Marlboro Handcraft makes this knife called the Little Prick. He makes other knives too, but he's a small maker. Here's a Little Prick. I've got one of those. See that little guy?
That's nice looking.
Yeah, it's a little bitty.
I like that.
He does bigger ones too. Marlboro Handcraft. A small maker. I came across him because somebody traded me a knife, and like Coke Designs, I got one of their knives on trade. Joey Roman. Here's some little pricks, and one that's a little bit bigger. They're very thin.
Joey Roman makes some cool stuff.
He does. He does make some cool stuff. I'll tell you who. Look at this little guy.
Tell you who's a big fan of Joey Roman. Patina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a couple of them.
I've got one. I think it's called the Micro Tanto. It's a chisel grind. The other one, my favorite besides Shane, and this guy doesn't do heat treats, but he does forging.
He's still doing heat treat. he's forging it. But
Oh yeah, I mean, but he's not focusing. His knives are designed for a different reason,
you
right?
guys ever notice, like when you watch people forge carbon steels, and after they get done with it, they take it out and run a file across it? You know why they're doing that?
Checking the HRC.
Well, yeah, they're making sure it's hardened. But the point is, you never have to do that when you're doing it the way I do it. Because they have to do that because the odds of it actually being hardened or not, it's just kind of up there. You know, it might not have even hardened. So that's why they always have to check. The fact that you have to check it afterwards to see if it hardened tells you it's an inferior process.
Well,
Sure.
some are also testing based off. They have different HRC files, so they're seeing how hot it
Yeah, I'm just talking about the guy that takes it right out of the quench and see if it skates. Oh, it skates. Well, why are you excited about it? Of course,
Right.
it should skate.
Right.
You know, 1095 is the worst about that. 1095 is one of the hardest steels there is to actually get it to harden. And I have no idea why. Now, fortunately, Tyler Magyoko, he decided to do some in 1095, but it's not going to be heated in a forge. I'm doing it in my oven, so we know it'll come out right. So at least if you get a 1095 knife, from Magyoko, it's probably going to be one of the best heat-treated 1095 knives you've ever had, because we're using old steel technology, but we're heat treating it with modern stuff.
That's weird.
What's that?
How does that work in Scooter?
What am I missing?
He said he's getting pop-up ads over the chat. I don't know.
Brian,
That is something I've seen too. That's something that is bizarre, where we stay live, but our volume gets turned down, and there's like a little 15-second ad that plays. It splits the screen in half. I've seen those too, but I'm not serving any ads.
Brian's
You know,
getting them again
they're
too.
about to start doing that with the Sunday ticket for the NFL. You know, used to you could watch Red Zone, watch football all day, no ads. They're technically still doing that because they don't stop the programming. They're splitting the screen in half and putting that on one side. That's the new money grab now.
What's up, Dawson?
If they start putting pop-ups in my porn, I'm going to be.
Brian, I had a question for you. You mentioned, where's it go? Your post with all the names.
Shady, do you not have premium? I haven't got an ad. But
Here we go. Brian, isn't Morris the one that's up by you that you go to and make it there?
Let me Google it.
I think that's the guy who actually you can go to his shop and make a knife with him. It's like you pay for it. It's an all day thing.
Is it Michael Morris?
It's in Michigan.
Master of Arms.
I don't know his first name.
I don't know if I'm gonna share the screen. Y'all tell me if this is.
Maddie, we don't have nearly as much corn as people think we do. Corn is more so middle. That's Nebraska, Iowa.
That's more Nebraska.
Yep. Kyle, this is right. You can go to their knife school. And it looks like you work with files.
That's cool. Yeah, Brian said he went there and did it. That's awesome.
Brian, who did?
F. Oh, maybe he didn't go. It just got one of his knives. But yeah, you can go to take a class there and make it with them.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really cool father-son, granddad-grandson day
type of trip. Yeah, that would be very cool. Be one you definitely remember.
I'm waiting on the day that I can get my grandson to shop. And I'll tell y'all, it doesn't have anything to do with a particular age. The number doesn't mean anything. But before, it's no different than teaching a child firearm safety. Until you've got a kid to a point where you can, at any point during the day, say they're out in the yard playing, chasing the dog, and you scream stop. If they don't immediately stop and turn to look to you for direction of what to do next, they are not ready to be around anything dangerous. That's how I'll decide when it's time for him to grind his first knife. I've had grandkids and kids that never accomplished that, so I never taught them how to do anything. But until if you can't say stop and then immediately freeze and then look at you to find out what to do next,
It's too risky.
they don't have any business on a dangerous piece of equipment.
Yeah, you got to have that.
That kind of goes with you and a miter saw, doesn't it?
I never made a cut with that miter saw until we figured it out.
Not bull. You cut a piece as a with a not unlocked, and you did it like using it as like a radial arm saw. We were yelling stop, and you weren't listening.
Okay, so I used it as a radial arm saw. I still cut it safely.
I think that was the first time I've ever seen Todd Carr pissed off. That needs to be a video on its own.
Derek, you can jump on anytime, brother. We're just shooting the shit. I noticed, Kyle, can you see in StreamYard where they've added a notes section?
Yeah.
I got a pop-up today about it. And if you look at it, I don't know if you just take notes before or if you wanted to have like show notes. I don't know what that's for. To me, it seems like a crazy feature.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, every time I open this now, it's different. Something's changed. And I've watched a lot of streams that use it, and they're having problems with it. Knock on wood, I've only lagged out a couple of times. I haven't had any, like, where shit doesn't work. But they've got sound effects in here now. Can y'all hear this?
Yeah.
That's what we need, more sound effects.
Where are you seeing this stuff? Like, where do you?
When you get in there and I didn't see it when I was on your stream, but it's all on the right side.
So media assets?
Yeah, media assets. I keep it open so I can post my little that's where I put my drops.
I got you. Derek, you're not interrupting. You're not going to interrupt anything, dude.
No, we're just talking smack, and I think you've got something cool to show.
Always dress girl deers with a bow in their hair. There's boy deers.
That came from everybody should learn to field dress a deer.
Good Lord, Dawson.
I know, Kathleen.
Wow, John keeps turning them on.
That's not me.
Huh?
How's that not you?
That was a real siren. That was you. That wasn't me. I swear to God, it wasn't.
Where do you get those at?
Oh, you clicked it because you got the same access to it, Goob.
Where?
Media assets.
But where's the sounds? I only see logos.
Scroll down.
I see
You'll come to sounds under
video clips.
Yeah, under that.
Background.
Above that. You have between video and background music is sounds.
There's nothing between video and background for me.
You should have an arrow that you can pull down and add sounds. You don't even see the word sounds?
Oh, there. It's down below all that stuff. And there's background music. Okay. I see it now.
Yeah, you hit this.
I didn't hit anything. I wasn't in there.
Yeah, we don't need sounds. What we do need though, I haven't been doing any background music lately.
Oh shit, it's the fuzz. Where did the word fuzz come from? How did we nickname cops the fuzz? Like how do we connect those two? Like a lot of them I understand, but fuzz I've always wondered why we call them the fuzz.
That's something I do not know. I do not know. What is even more to me curious is who determined.
Do you think it's from Great Britain where those cops had those fuzzy hats?
Very well could be. It sounds like something a British would say. The fuzz are coming.
Yeah.
What my mom and I had a conversation about, and she couldn't tell me. I'm not talking about using the Lord's names in vain, but who decided fuck was a cuss word? Who decided shit was a bad word?
I'm the same way, dude. I do not understand giving words power.
To me, it's just bizarre, but I mean, I think
everything comes down to intent. The only things you shouldn't say is something said with a hateful intent. I don't care what words you use. I don't care if you walk around throwing the N-word around. If it's not with hateful intent, I don't care. Just don't.
I guess I can see
It's bad. I'm not going to look down on you. Yeah.
Popo.
The only people that care are white women. Like, you remember when there was the whole Morgan Wallen thing? When he told his buddies to tip that in or pay that in, the Uber driver. All the black people I saw that reviewing that were like, I mean, he used it in the right context. You know, he wasn't being racist. He wasn't being hateful. He just used it like we use it. So what difference does it make?
I was watching, and this is going to sound bad, but Fusi, who's this streamer who always crashes out, but he was making a rap album. He's a Muslim white guy or Muslim guy, and got permission allegedly in one of the studios to use it.
Need permission.
But and he used it a lot, and to me, I get cringy hearing people say it.
I get it, but that's just
But
because.
fuck, I don't. To me, fuck's a perfect word because it can be used in so many different contexts. There are not many words in the English language that you can place in a sentence with different meanings as fuck.
Dirty cotton or hot suckers, great story.
You guys remember that? Speaking of that,
I don't know if Five Door's dropping knowledge.
I think he is.
He may be.
I think the static, if you're listening to him, if you've got somebody, kind of running that breaker for you, like Smokey and the Bandit.
I don't remember if you guys remember, there was an old commercial for Five Gum, that gum company, chewing gum. And it was, they were making a play on words with all that stuff, talking about cuss words. So like the one, they called him a lint liquor, and the other one was a cootie queen.
Yeah.
That was about the 90s, right?
This was like, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago.
I just don't understand.
I do remember those commercials. I need to find one to use.
I don't understand as a grown man how you can be offended by a sound that a guy made coming out. I just don't get that. It's like I can't imagine anything any weaker than being upset by a word. I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
It's so much of it is conditioning. The same reason we were taught that these are bad words. I go back to George Carlin's 7 words you can't say on TV. What was his little bit?
Yeah.
And most of y'all are probably too young for that. But
Carlin was weird. He had some good points and some really crazy points.
well, most comedians are, dude. They're nuts. And they all find the weird little, most comedians I don't find funny. And some of the ones that I do, other people don't find funny. See, I think Tim Dillon's brilliant and funny. I love his comedy, the way he just talks about shit.
Have you ever thought about this? What if Tim Dillon's not gay?
That's the rumor.
He just gets away with saying
That's
what
the rumor.
he wants because he goes, "Oh, I'm gay.
That's the rumor.
You can't do anything to me." That is the best troll.
The best troll of all.
If that's the truth.
Yeah.
Dude, he came out Saturday. He does his podcast, releases it every Saturday.
I remember that, Jeffrey.
He had on a beard. Let me find something.
Sitting on the front porch like in the 1800s. Strolls up on a horse. That's old Colonel Angus.
Let me show y'all something.
Take that off screen. Horrific autocorrect. I don't know what you're talking about, Door.
How he spelled Bernie Mac.
Oh.
Let me get to the ad.
Hell, to be honest, I would have known you misspelled it. I don't know how you spell Bernie Mac.
MAC.
That man, I know that man funny though.
I remember.
I went down a damn rabbit hole last night watching Steve Harvey's Greatest Moments on Family Feud.
Oh, those are great.
Oh, they're so funny, dude.
Still the best one ever. Still pork cupine.
Yeah, cupine. My man came up with cupine.
Tim Dillon gives zero
Thanking
fucks.
Barry Weiss for giving me the opportunity to sit here with you at the iconic CBS News desk and deliver the news. CBS is a great American institution.
You know what those bagels symbolize?
What?
The Twin Towers. He says that in a second.
Jesus.
You know, CBS was just bought or just had a major change in there. So he doesn't just cross the line. He jumps over the line.
Yeah.
I urge any of you to watch the Tim Dillon show. anytime. I mean, he's always crossing.
As he should be able to.
Right.
Because if you find it offensive, you simply
That's not for you.
pick up this 4-ounce instrument and mash a button, and it no longer affects your life. It's just simple.
But I mean, so much of it, I think, is bandwagoning. You know, I think so much of that outrage doesn't necessarily start in the comedy room. It's somebody interpreting it, and then it goes viral, and things go viral, not necessarily organically.
It's just lonely, single white women who think they have to stand up for people. And to me, that is the biggest insult in the world. The fact that some liberal, blue-haired white chick thinks that she needs to protect black men. That's the biggest insult I've ever heard. Like, oh, you think I can't take care of myself? You have to protect me? That's the most offensive thing I've ever heard.
Scott, I remember when I went to opening night when they did the movie Kings of Comedy, and it was him, Cedric the Entertainer. That was an experience.
Yeah, they used to get away with a lot more. If you look back at like what Norm Macdonald did, I was never into his comedy as much because I didn't get it. I get it more now. But I mean, he was like a loaded gun on talk shows. He made talk show hosts nervous.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Norm Macdonald.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, Norm was.
He got kicked off of The View.
Oh yeah.
We kept saying that.
But I mean, he just did it with such a dry, wonderful sense of just. Yeah. I'm going over there, and I'm sorry if it makes you uncomfortable. I'm gonna look at you and go, "What?"
He's like, "Well, you know, Bill Clinton guy. I thought that was common knowledge."
Oh, Joy was losing her shit,
dude.
He is God tier. I agree.
There's a video on YouTube. I'll have to find it again, but it goes over when he was doing his own like little talk show thing on, and he would have like guests come on, David Spade and different people, Andy Dick, and he ended up losing all his sponsors because of shit they would say. So then they would do sponsor ad reads, but like screwing them all up on purpose. And it's
because they weren't sponsored. That was just part of the show.
Yeah, it was a compilation of those when he lost all his sponsors. Oh, it was phenomenal.
Oh God!
But now again, as a company spending money on that man's channel, he's entitled to say whatever he wants. But I do agree that they have the right not to spend money there.
All right. So again, you talk about smart, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but Tim Dillon's also got an amazing range of intelligence. But these are the ad reads he used to do when he was with Ben, and he'd never get paid for them. Because what happens on an ad read is you have a sponsor, and he would make
Keeps. Are you bald? Cut it out. Keeps. Thank you. Anyway. No. Stop being bald. 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time. It's crazy that you've never fingered yourself.
I've never fingered myself.
You've never put a finger in your asshole while you came?
No, I have not.
Do you know how much more intense the orgasm is?
I've heard.
This is an ad read, by the way. So, I mean, all these ad reads are just...
But doesn't do anything about it. Amazing. Sheathunderwear.com. Use the promo code TIM to save. I was eating a pumpkin scone, a hard one.
Oh, wow.
He's got tons of these clips, but one of them he does is these underwear, these sheath underwear. And he talks about the guy's a veteran who made them. And yeah, he did a bunch of war crimes. He goes, but the reason these sheath underwear were so perfect is they fit the lady boy so well. And it really gave form to the lady boy's ass. I mean, he does one he used to do, they took it away from him, but BetterHelp. His BetterHelp ad reads and his Blue Chew ad reads are fucking hilarious, dude.
Okay.
I mean, Ben would just sit there and cringe because he'd know that he was going to get calls. As soon as Tim started reading, he knew he was going to be fading heat because he was the one getting the sponsors.
Yeah.
Where's Derek?
Percent of the things Giovanni does. Let's go, Derek.
Come on, Derek.
You had plenty of time to take a piss.
Get your blind ass up here. Jerron, did you send in the link in Braille?
I bet he's out in the backyard right now talking to the clothesline, thinking he's on the line with us.
I sent it to his cell
Guys,
phone.
can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Maddie, you're missing out. I only endorse things I truly believe in.
See you in hell, Shane.
It's the only person I met at Blade Show that literally had to touch me with his eyeball to know who I was.
Derek's a fucking awesome
Pretty sure I had a
individual.
little wet spot where his eyeball touched me. Jan, is that you? It's me, buddy.
Oh God, I'll see you in hell, buddy.
We had literally been standing there for like 5 minutes. Didn't know it was me till I spoke.
We're probably rubbing one out, getting ready.
Saying all that, I love Derek.
He's made
Derek's
some really,
awesome.
he's made some really cool handmade display pieces for knives that I think are just, I thought they were really cool. He sent them to me, and they've got, oh, you just got to see it.
Do they look good?
They look real good.
How's he know?
He sent them to me.
Look at the name.
Fine guy.
That makes sense.
Did you add him and I just pulled him off?
How's he know?
What's up,
Hey,
buddy?
Derek.
Look at the name.
That makes sense. I told y'all, look.
There you go. Hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
Don't be walking around. We don't need you running into things.
What do you mean out talking to the clothesline? I heard that. I'm trying to figure this out. You're making fun of me. Thanks, Shane. I thought we was buddies. I thought we was buddies.
We are.
Derek, did you make those out of Legos, or how'd you know how to put them together?
I had my face about 4 inches from the table saw blade.
There you go.
That's smart. I
And
like
you
it.
can flip, Derek. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but on that, on your little thing that you're looking at on your phone,
Yeah.
you can flip your camera to go to the other camera if you want to show something in front of you.
Oh, okay. Where's that at?
It just should be a button. I'm not looking at it on mobile right now.
You
But
just opened Pandora's box, man.
Yeah.
does it not just show you a little symbol? I'm not.
Shane, that button
Yeah.
is Schrodinger's cat.
Hey, Kyle, I'm blind. I'm not deaf, asshole.
That's classic.
How's everybody doing this evening?
Good, buddy. How are
Man,
you?
living the dream.
Oh, pretty good. So yeah. I spoke to Jovan a little bit about this. I've been since Blade Show. I had such a Blade Show had such an impact on me. I got thinking about this because I wasn't even really supposed to be there. Honestly, I had to beg, borrow, and steal, and bring a bunch of ramen noodles with me to survive Blade Show. But it was a hell of a good time, and just meeting all you guys, Jovan and Shane and Sharif and Maddie and said Stevie, everybody, even my my Uncle Ed. It was a really good time, and a lot of people in the knife community have health issues, whether it be physical, mental, visual, and I wanted to try to start a nonprofit fundraiser to try to send one person to start off with all expense paid trip to Blade Show, travel, hotel, obviously a pass to Blade Show, and maybe shake hands with a couple people. I actually spoke with Boo Fam. Him and Brian BDC was the ones that kind of made me decide to do this. I spoke with some other people, Big Red, a couple other people as far as YouTubers and stuff go, and everybody said go for it. I mean, I got all the time in the world, so something to keep me busy, and hopefully maybe put a smile on somebody's face that needs a smile.
And the trick is that Derek and I were talking about is how do you go and select? You almost have to do it without telling them. It almost has to be like an anonymous thing. I mean,
Sure.
There's so many people that have valid needs in different
Right.
situations,
Right.
And maybe it's something that's just done behind the scenes, because we had one
Sure.
guy in mind, and in all truth, things aren't going very well for him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can say it. This shit. Yeah. Give me a second.
You good, brother?
Take your time, my man.
We can take you off the screen if you want for a second.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Blade Walker ain't doing too hot. A lot of people know. Take me off for a second, please.
Yep.
Thanks.
Ask Shane how this situation.
I was trying to get to click it, but it was moving too fast.
I don't know what he means.
Damn it! Hey, you
Which
got me all my trying to get me all my feels.
Guys, Derek.
Jeffrey, that's classic.
Those of you who haven't interacted with Derek is legit a good dude, man.
One of the kindest
You know,
souls.
we talked about this thing he's wanting to do, you know, and the worry whenever you're trying to help somebody is how do you know if you're helping the right person? And it is tough, man. You know, you don't know. You know, I was fortunate enough to win an all expense paid trip to Blade Show.
Me too.
You know, and it worked out good for me. You know, were there people who could have been more needy than I was at the moment? Sure.
Absolutely.
You know, he's got a lot to iron out there. But, you know, you just hope that somebody that doesn't need it, you know, wouldn't even put their name in the hat. But,
Or the question is, do people put their name in the hat? Or
I don't think you do.
Or is it something where
suggested? Something that needs to be suggested by someone that's part of it. Not.
I think it would almost need to be too, and it would probably be more universal than any of us would think. As it got closer, right? I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I just
it is a difficult thing to navigate, though.
Hey, Derek, if you can hear us, thumbs up when you're ready.
Yeah.
And absolutely no rush. What's up, Josh 304? Paul Derek is one of the.
Derek also owns the only Thug Triple XL in existence.
Dude, that thing was so fucking badass.
I didn't think it would translate to that big a knife that well, but in all honesty, I like it, man. It's a fucking badass blade. I do think I should have made it thicker if I were going to make more.
Scott Ian, I think that's exactly right. I think it's going to take several of us to come up with a way to make it, you know, doable, right? Where it could actually be executed and where it's not hurting anybody else, hurting anybody else's feelings.
Hang on one second. I'm going to try to add him, see if he's ready. I can't tell. Derek, you ready? You good, bud?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were ready or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
You're good. You're good, man.
So Blade Walker ain't doing too hot. I got kind of emotional because I've been talking with him a lot and stuff. And if anybody's hasn't watched Blade Walker's videos recently, please watch them. He's
very well thought out, and they're good. He put out one today. I watched.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because I mean he's basically pretty much throwing in the towel, in a sense. He needs another transplant, and he just don't want to go through the bullshit. I mean, I get that. You know, I for the people that don't know, I lost my vision because of my chemo treatment, or I got diagnosed with stage 4 malignant melanoma back in 2017. And for like 3 years, basically all I did was go to doctor's appointments and sleep. So I get it, you know, and that ain't even half of what he's going through, you know.
What he's fighting.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't blame him. He said he's in the right place mentally, spiritually. I'm not. I'm scared to hell to die. So, but I don't know. He's just getting tired of fighting, and I can't blame him. But I told him just hang on till Blade Show, and whatever money I don't raise, I'll make sure he gets there. So, but yeah, I was listening to what you said, Kyle. I was kind of going with that. I was everybody I've talked to kind of we had the same agreement. You know, kind of. You can't really put yourself in it, but, you know, have somebody, you know, put your name in the hat or whatever and narrow it down to like 10 people and then do it the old fashioned way, put their name on a ping pong ball and do the old bingo ball roller thing and just pull it out. So that way nobody can say, oh, well, I didn't see my name pop up on the comment picker or whatever. I mean, we'll do it old school, you know? So, but you know, something like that for, you know, if this goes off, all right. And, you know, cause I don't have a whole bunch of money myself, but, I feel strongly enough about this, that you know, the little bit of money I hopefully I'll be getting here. I'm not even on disability. I'm fighting that right now. And, I go, the 20th of September for a doctor's appointment. They're doing some x-rays and stuff. And then I go October 16th and they're going to make sure I really am blind. So, I told him just to call Kyle and he could tell him, but they said they needed their own doctors.
How many fingers is that?
Asshole. I can't even see if I'm in the middle of the screen right now. So if I'm on the screen, tell me.
You're perfect, man. You're framed up just right.
All right, I appreciate it. I don't got too much glare or nothing, or
you're good. Okay. Derek, you got such a kind heart, man. That's why we give you a hard time, is because you take it.
I know. I got big shoulders. I can take anything your little ass can throw at me, Kyle. But no,
Derek is a much larger human being than you think he is, seeing him on screen too.
Much larger.
I'm just not as good looking as Shane.
Well,
I believe you could take Shane.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No. I'm good. I'm good.
I ain't fighting nobody no more.
Yeah, I'm not either. I heard about what he did to old boy at that parking lot with the back of his knife. I'm good.
No Ritter Hogue.
He gave him the old Hogue kabang in the forehead.
What he doesn't know is I was scared to death for the next hour, thinking I was having a heart attack, dying.
Right.
When that adrenaline dump was over. Yeah, that's when I should have known I need to go to the doctor. Anyway.
See, that's another issue. I've been and hearing some of your stories. I'm worried about that because there's two things around my family: cancer and heart disease.
Yeah.
And I actually saved my dad's life here 2 years ago. My grandpa died 5 days after my 15th birthday. He was a year older than what my dad would have been if he would have kicked the bucket. But yeah, luckily I heard him fall down at 5:30 in the morning and went upstairs to check it out. And he said, call the ambulance. I'm having a heart attack. I called the ambulance, and luckily the neighbor across the street's an EMT worker. I called up Jenny, and she came over and had him ready. So by the time the ambulance got here, he was ready to rock and roll. So they life flighted him up to Toledo, and the table was somebody else had a heart attack. So they had to make a U-turn and head to Cleveland Clinic. But yeah, just the doctor said he was very lucky.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 3 people have died in this house already. My grandpa on the back porch and my grandma and my aunt upstairs above where I'm standing right now. They both died of cancer. So if I die in this house because of cancer, I'll be the 3rd person in the 3rd generation. So,
wow,
that's a shitty family tradition to hold up. Yeah.
Are you sure it's genetic related, or could it be environmental?
I live in farm country and flatlands in northwestern Ohio, so I'm saying a lot of it's environmental.
Talking about market value.
Yeah, fucking Kyle. Love you, buddy. But yeah, let me get to doing some chilling here for myself, and then I'll get off and let you kind people do your thing. But yeah. So my grandpa that passed away when I was 15, he used to do wood crafts. He did quilt racks, piggy banks. We used to go. I'd help him out in the wood shop, and then we'd go to flea markets and sell. So I've always kind of been around, the wood shop. My dad, he was a logsman. So if I wasn't helping Grandpa, I was out in the woods cutting wood. So that's why my body's in such great shape. But this is my knife racks I made. Can you guys see that all right?
Yeah.
Just something I threw together. Is kind of cool with this one because I left the live edge on. And the real neat thing about it is
make it big. Hold on, Derek. I'll make you big. All right, go ahead. It's just you.
Okay. But yeah, if you look at the wood, I kept this. It had the natural like the bug lines and stuff. It's red oak, but if you look at it real close, it's got blue in it. The reason it's blue is because it had metal that grew inside the wood, and it actually turned it blue. It might have been from old fencing or whatever. So I got enough to make probably about 4 or 5 of these with the red oak. You might be able to see it a little bit better on this one. I don't know if it picks it up.
Nice, buddy.
But yeah, not too. It's hard as shit making the cuts because it's actually a table saw blade's about 1/8 of an inch, and this glass is a little bit above that. So I gotta make like a 1.5 cuts. So it's pretty all right cuts for a blind dude. You know what I'm saying?
Looks tight, dude.
And then I went. This is a little bit a cheaper version. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a plywood with a veneer top, and I just painted it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really makes your knives pop, and especially for those people that got the $1,000 knives, or you got yourself a Donnie Bless knife that's $1,500. I mean, that'd look really nice on something like that. And then I just put this together last night with just something like a wall hanger. This is actually what they call that MDF board. It's really sturdy, but it's really hard to work with.
It's heavy too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the cool thing about this, I thought about doing a couple different things. I thought about maybe doing a flag with like having the back white and then like the shelves red, and then over here doing like blue, and then maybe like the stars in between the shelves have like a flag. Or if somebody wanted like a certain brand on the backdrop, I could have I got a friend that does screen printing or like vinyl printing. I could have like a logo. Like I could have a big, if you had a bunch of Shane's knives, I could have him print out like a big logo in the backdrop.
Is that the thug?
I was gonna say, I was getting to that. The creme de la creme right there in the center. I'll give somebody $1 if they can tell me what all the other knives around it are, though.
Derek, do the lights come with it?
Okay, that's another thing.
I like the lights,
especially if I go with this size. It's actually 16 feet, which is the LED lights, like these up here. I don't got them plugged in, but I can do a gap and then put them so the lights back bounce off the back. But I have thought about that for like a premium version. You know what I mean?
And what are you thinking about pricing for them? Have you figured that out yet?
I was kind of hoping that y'all could help me out on that. I really don't know what to charge. I don't.
Gary, before I named a price, I would probably
talk to Kyle
what it's going to cost to ship them.
That's what we talked about. That's going to be the tricky part, is because we built crates for stuff like that. And
these aren't too bad. I can actually get those in the ship anywhere boxes. This is going to be a problem. I can get the phone. I actually have the blue board I was going to use in between the shelves to keep it stable. But as far as I don't know. Somebody said pirate ships the way to ship stuff, I guess.
Well, the trick for that is it's the size and the weight. If the box will hold it, because when we were doing furniture, we had a bunch of people design us corrugated boxes. And
I used to work at Green Bay Packaging. I actually still have family that work there, so I can actually have boxes made.
Yeah, I mean,
double wall. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we tried that, and then our stuff was a lot heavier, so we ended up having to build crates with everything because we'd mount the furniture in the crate. But you wouldn't need to do a crate on that. But for
this only weighs about 10 pounds, maybe.
Okay, see, it seems like when you're getting up to 30, 40, it's
right. That's a lot heavier, sure.
You can just do whatever the pricing is plus shipping, so that way it's not. And you can figure that out as it goes. And if someone doesn't want to buy it because of shipping, that's fine. But I would put the pricing on top, or the shipping on top of the pricing.
You think that's the way I should go?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Whatever price you come up with, it needs to be plus shipping, because
you
don't want to eat.
But I would use pirate ship.
You don't want to have to eat all that shipping money.
Well, I'm kind of like you, Shane, as far as I'm very humble. I don't want to charge $1 million so people can't afford it. and I like doing it. It keeps me busy, and it goes to a good cause. My first round, I haven't figured it out where I'm going to do it or who's going to let me, but I'm actually going to auction like the first maybe whatever one of each size off. I was going to try to talk to like some of the different channel members or different YouTubers and see if I could get on one of their channels. I don't know. I also got this is another project. I only got enough stickers to do this big one. It's actually like a computer table.
Let me make you big again. Hold on.
Yep. We good?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna epoxy this so it has a glass top, but this is really this is a nice it's bigger than a TV tray, but it's not a huge desk, and it folds up, and it actually comes with it even comes with a chair. And I thought about even putting stickers on the seat and then epoxying that too. I actually got that. It was $100 at Lowe's, and I got it on clearance for $60. So the only thing I'll have in it is the epoxy and the stickers that I've accumulated. And that one this one right here actually even has pocket razors in there. So that's kind of a special. I only got one of the stickers, but I figured, this is going to go to somebody, good in the community, and it's going to go to a good cause. So this has got pretty much everybody. I even got one of your stickers, Shane. So, I don't know if anybody sees anybody I'm missing or somebody I missed, let me know. Or if anybody has any extra stickers, please get a hold of Jovan or Shane. They both know how to get a hold of me.
I got some stickers I can send you.
I'd appreciate that. I really would.
Not just mine. I've got a Ziploc bag full of stickers over there.
That'd be awesome, man. Like I said, this is all going to a good cause. So I got two.
So what you look at, Derek, if you might want to look at raffling and instead of auctioning. If you sell raffle spots for.
Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah. See, that's why I came on here. Yeah.
More people can afford to participate. I mean, there's only going to be one winner, but more people can afford to participate.
Sure.
And when you get close, dude, let me know because I might be able to. There's several of us actually that might be able to throw a little bit of stuff in with these winner packages.
Right. Sure.
But,
swag them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I even got.
I'm sure I could probably throw in at the very least a prick or something like that to go along.
But you don't have to do that. I got plenty of.
No, I don't mind at all.
Are you sure, man?
I've given away more pricks than I've sold, buddy.
Right.
It's kind of cool because it's something that didn't really cost me anything.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want the metal to go to waste. But,
right.
Yeah. Let me know.
Well, all I got in this is time and the wood. Me and my dad used to, like I said, log, and we actually had some boards. I had to plane. I mean, they're rough boards. I had to plane them down. But the only thing I got in it is time. The glass was kind of expensive. It's actually $3 a shelf for all the glass.
Right.
That's why I was trying to switch over to maybe something like this. Plus, a lot of people don't have room for like stuff like this on, whatever. Everybody's got a little bit of extra wall space, but I also was gonna pimp out. I haven't got a chance to do it, but I got one of those little mini cobalt things. And this is what I was gonna say. This was what I was actually gonna raffle. I got a bunch of shit in here. I got everything from bit driver sets to little mini multi tools. Various knives,
Neil.
Flashlights, more knives, a couple more flashlights. I was thinking about throwing that in for, like you said, something swagged out or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just trying to raise money for a good cause. However I can do it, and I'm up for suggestions if anybody's got any ideas. So I mean, I like the raffle idea though. That's a good idea. And if anybody would like,
how many tickets you want to sell, Maddie, I have not heard a word. And
for something charity wise like that, I wouldn't even worry about putting a cap on how many spaces you sell.
Just go by like what, a week or something, or
Yeah, just put a time limit on it. Do it 2 weeks, and let us all know, and we'll all have you on. And
sure.
Derek, what I think the best bet, honestly, is to get a list of prizes of what you have.
Yep.
Put a goal, like an end date for sure, so that there's a cutoff.
Okay. Yeah.
That way you have everything kind of organized, lined up, and then have the 2 weeks prior leading up to that, get on lives with people just for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and
Sure.
re-promote
Do a
it,
little promotion, sure.
and tell them how to be able to enter for the raffle. And then
nearly everybody can buy a $5 spot, man.
right.
I can even vouch
But-
for a $5 spot. I can buy one of those.
Right.
But if you let it linger too much and don't have like an end date or don't have a start date or don't have any of
Right.
this stuff,
Yeah.
it gets lost in the mix. So
Sure, 100%. What do you think? Like what, 2 weeks? Would that be enough? You think, guys?
Well, yeah, I would promote it a little prior to that, but as far as the entry to draw date, 2 weeks is a good time span.
Okay.
we
Well,
could-
that's kind of what I'm doing now. Is just, like I said, I wanted to try to get a hold of Maddie and Stevie, but they're hard to get a hold of, and Big Red, and I got his. I talked to him, and maybe even Zach stuff. Kodiak.
I hear Maddie's an ass. I don't know if he'd let anybody on his show.
Maddie's all right, but I don't know.
Derek, if you're wanting to do this soon, looking at calendar, I would say shoot for try to open it up in about a week and then run it to the end of the month, and then on the 1st of October run it.
Well, I'm not.
Maddie's got a good point too.
I'm in no big hurry. I mean, the end goal is to have stuff. I mean, to have money raised for Blade Show. But
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I was just trying to say do it before you get to the holiday season.
oh yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I would try to end it on like the 5th.
So you got that.
A lot of people in the community,
We'll get paid on the first. Sure.
Right. You don't want to alienate them.
Hey, has
Right.
anybody in the chat heard from Rusty Knife Lover in a while?
I have not.
No.
Me neither. When Maddie put that up, it made me think I hadn't in forever.
Right. Is Maddie in here right now?
Yep.
Hey Maddie, could you do me a favor and get a hold of Jovan? He's got my contact information. I know you don't talk on the phone, but I'd like to talk to either you or said Stevie if at all possible. If you could find a couple minutes to talk to me. I won't talk to you for an hour like Ed Harrison, but
Yeah.
I'll just talk to you for a couple minutes. But yeah.
Hey, Ed jumped on stream with me twice, and one time we were live until 6 o'clock in the morning. The other
7
time
in the
we
morning.
were
7.
live until 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 and a half hours, something crazy like
10
that.
and a half hour live stream. Yeah.
Maddie, just in case you're wondering if your prick actually exists, it does. It's right here, and I'm holding it hostage.
Maddie can't see under his belly to see his prick.
I'll get it to you.
You know, Kyle, I was waiting for Shane kept saying, the prick and little prick, and I was like, man, well, Kyle must be off his game tonight, man. He hasn't made one comment about the prick.
I was letting you have your shining moment talking about
I
your
wasn't
charity
on
work.
yet because I was laughing. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it, man. I was like, come on, Kyle, get him. I was like, oh, shit.
But
Dan, y'all got to quit showing those Mexican food
Dana's
references.
already got a prick.
He's got a little prick, right?
But Tina got a full-size prick.
Oh, okay.
Maddie's is a smaller prick. Don't get me wrong, man. This thing's still plenty deep enough, but there's one over there that's bigger than this. Like you stab damn near clean through a normal-sized guy with that other one.
I can't. How big a blade's that, buddy? About 5 inches?
It's probably
6.
4.5, yeah.
Isn't it that big?
It depends on the size of your hand, how far you...
That's what I was trying to use for a reference.
Yeah, there's probably 4 inches sticking out there on mine.
Right.
There is a bigger one, but...
Hey, what did you say, Shane, about the XXXL thug? You wish you would have did what? Made it a little thicker?
Yeah, if I was ever going to make that knife again, I feel like it needs to be a little thicker, but it cuts so damn good.
Oh God, I think slices like crazy.
It does.
There.
I don't know if I would baton any wood with it though. I kind of wanted it to take it. That was originally when we talked about it. I wanted something to take out to the woods, but that damn thing's too pretty to take out to the woods.
I'm glad you like it, man.
No, I love the shit out of it. It's a damn beautiful knife. I mean, I really am thankful that you. That was half the reason I wanted to make it to Blade Show.
Yeah,
just to get to meet you, and.
I don't even remember how long is that blade. That is about 5-6 inches, isn't it?
Oh, it's
longer than that.
It's about the size of my.
Arm.
Yeah, it's 6 inches.
Yeah.
That thing's close to 11 inches overall, 12 inches overall. Shane.
Oh, overall, yeah, it's 11, because that's 10 inches.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know how they would sell, but I'm glad that thing exists.
Yeah, dude. Everybody I've showed this to is like, man, that's awesome.
It made me smile when you pulled it out and showed it to me.
Yeah. I still like the logo though. That logo is badass. Everybody I've showed that to, because me and my dad were, before I lost my vision, I was also a truck driver. So we appreciate the cool.
Wait till you guys see the logo that is going on Aiden Miguel's. I'll just say that. Aiden Miguel put a little twist on it that I'm super excited to reveal, but we're not there yet.
It's cooler than this one.
You'll like it. I'll tell you. You're gonna like it when you see it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. YouTube Music Poor when he moved that thing down to his waist to me.
You saw that, John?
You put that thing down at your waistline. I said, yeah, it's about 11 inches.
That's why Maddie said someone clip it.
Yeah. But guys, I got to get off here. I haven't ate, and I'm starting to feel a little nauseous. So I'm going to go cook me a bite to eat.
Dude, thanks for hanging.
I'll be in the chat, hanging out with y'all.
Hey, thanks for your help, Shane. I appreciate the shit out of you.
Today. I did not ship today, but I will ship tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be getting some stuff out of my possession and in your mailboxes pretty soon.
Sweet.
It is about that time. See you.
Love you, dude.
Love you, big dog.
Javon, you gonna stay? You gonna?
I figure I'll go at least 9 more minutes. Make sure we get 3 hours.
Okay.
Wow, you've been on now. What time did you go live, buddy?
I went live about 9.
2 hours and 50 minutes ago.
You been on? I thought you didn't go. I thought you said you were gonna start later.
I used to start this at 10:15.
Right.
But then, since Cole and I have different audiences, and people were staying up too late, I moved it up to 9:15. But I wanted to go live earlier tonight, but I always have technical difficulties because I don't get into my streaming software except twice a week, and it was it just always changes.
Sure. But yeah, thanks. I appreciate you having me on, though.
Dude, you're welcome anytime. I always love seeing you.
Thanks for your input, man. I appreciate it,
no problem, buddy.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just trying to. I know my end goal. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I got some ideas,
Hey, if you want to bounce ideas around, we'll jump on a private one of these, like maybe 3 or 4 of us, and we can just talk it out.
Sure. Well, that's the toughest thing for me. Everybody always is like, well, message me and shit. I gotta do everything kind of the old-fashioned way just because it's a lot easier. But I get it with the way everything is today. A lot of people don't have time to
Well, StreamYard, if we find a time, you can do private little meetings for 15, 30 minutes and just talk stuff out. It works. It's pretty, to me, I think it's an effective way to communicate. I used to, when I was in the corporate world, I used WebEx all the time because I was going through the COVID transition of changing the way we do business, and everything went to WebEx.
Right. Like a Zoom
call.
Works.
Yeah, you got plenty of time, Derek. I think just being organized, maybe do one this fall before the holidays start, and then maybe one in the spring when after the winter breaks, and maybe see if you can't raise some more money at that point. But just get a list together of what you want to put in, give it at least 2 weeks time once you open it up for tickets, and then have an exact set cutoff date so people aren't upset about not being able to get in or
right. Yeah, well, Shane made a good point too. Make sure to go a couple days after the first of the month.
Right.
Too.
Exactly.
Hey Kyle, I lost all my contact stuff because of my phone crashing. I broke my phone. Did I have your number, or did you have my number? I should say, or did we just contact each other through Instagram?
I think you called me through Instagram.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, everything it sucks. All my passwords and stuff. I can't get on like nothing except
Yeah,
for
he can't even get back on Instagram.
yeah. I haven't been on Instagram since I broke my phone. I have to get my screen fixed, and then
Oh dang.
or well, actually, it should be fixed. I took it over, but the problem is getting over to it. It's like 45 minutes away. So, but yeah, it should be fixed. I just gotta go get it. So hopefully, I'll be able to do that. But yeah, luckily I had a backup phone, so that was all right. But yeah, just all like my PayPal, everything's on
Locked up in your other phone.
Yep. Nobody remembers their passwords, you know.
Dude, if it wasn't when I first, because I've always had a horrible memory. I didn't know it was ADHD till like 10 years ago. But
Right.
if I didn't use this program called One Safe Password,
Yeah, you gotta get a password manager.
I keep-
Wow, what's that about?
it's a little encrypted thing that's on my phone that I keep all my passwords in for all my different services. So I can't remember shit. And I've got so many things. Google will track a lot of it, but on my phone, a lot of times Apple won't, you know, when it resets. So I have that little app that I can open up and search anything that I've got a password. There's some that I don't have in there because I authenticate with my phone number.
How do you get into that app if you because I got the password key or whatever on my Apple phone.
All
I
you
can't get
do
into that because my phone's
right. So you download the app after on the phone that you're using now.
Right.
And then you would log into the app.
And it's got them. Gotcha.
And it's on the cloud, so it would sync up from anywhere.
It's the same thing as what's on your iPhone, but just in a separate app, basically.
Oh,
and they have some that are more secure. The one on Apple works fine if you're using that, because then you just have to remember one password to log in for everything.
Yeah, your Apple password. I can't remember.
And then everything else autofills.
Yeah.
Which is great. So
Mind Milton, what's up, brother?
if you already got that, it should be okay as long as you're not locked out of Apple.
Right. That's my problem. I'm locked out of Apple right now.
Right.
But I'll get it figured out, hopefully. I mean, you know, whatever.
Well, we learned real quick how much we depend on that stuff. I've dropped.
That's what sucks. Yeah.
Back in my drinking days, I would drop my Blackberries and stuff like that in a toilet or something.
Sure.
It'd usually be a clean bowl, but I'd drop it in a bag of rice right away, and it would just never come back. But luckily, most of that stuff backed up. So when I'd get a replacement phone, all my shit would be there. But for like 2 or 3 days, I was walking around, no offense, but blind. I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing. I didn't have anybody's number.
Yeah. I didn't have the internet for my birthday. I got everybody said happy birthday Sunday at midnight or Sunday night at midnight. But by the time Monday came around, I lost the internet. So Monday, my birthday, and that whole week I didn't have the internet. I found out how much social interaction I really do on the internet. And even my phone calls, because I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi because I'm down in the basement. You know, I got like an apartment down here. But yeah, I was so depressed for that week. It was horrible.
I'm glad, even though you lost it, I'm glad you found it.
Yeah.
I just had it too. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I appreciate you guys' input, though.
Oh, no problem.
Richard, I love notebooks. Passwords, I get a little nervous with writing them down because my mom likes to do that. She keeps a notepad, and I've usually set up all her online stuff. I just got her set up on AT&T AutoPay and our utility company AutoPay because she wanted to. And I keep her passwords in my app too, just because I don't think she needs to have them on paper.
Right.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday, brother.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, August 18th. Yep.
Oh,
a couple, 3 days after Big Reds, 2 days after Caleb 1776. There's a bunch of August birthdays. Even
7 days after my daughter's.
Oh, really? That's cool. Even Barbie EDC is the 23rd. Cliff Brott's the 9th. Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch in August.
Who'd you say was the 9th?
Cliff Brott. He's
who's that?
Dude lives up in Alaska. He's a pretty cool guy. He's been around for a while. He goes over to he hangs out over at Kodiak Edge bladesmithing.
I've
Alaska.
started to see he's live all night long, isn't he?
That dude, yeah, he started off only being live on Sunday Fun Day, and now he's been going live damn near every day.
Well, like late night, I see him live.
Yeah, he'll go live till like 5 or 6 in the morning. If anybody's not doing anything and just bored and just wants some social interaction, go check him out. He's always on late. So,
What's he? 'Cause I've never been on. I know Paul had told me about him. I think.
Yeah, yep.
I've been in there.
He's a maker, right?
Yeah, Kyle pops in there. He always gets kicked off
Well,
by accident. But yeah,
now Jim hates me. So
Jim hates everybody. Don't feel bad.
well, it's because he's old FUD. He doesn't know what he's
Hey,
talking
we'll do a
about.
little screen
Yeah.
sniping before we go bye. So y'all can jump over after the live. He's live right now.
Yes, sir.
Derek,
Tell him me and Kyle sent you.
Derek, I know Cliff. I just was giving him a hard. I love to give Cliff a hard time. So
Yeah, he's the one that told me about the corn dog sitting. Because I asked him, I was like, because he's always giving you shit about sitting on a corn dog. I asked him, I was like, so if you sit on a corn dog, when you get off it, what do you got? He's like, because he's always talking about taking the breading off the corn dog. I was like, I hope there's just.
So I'm gonna do one of these, and I'm probably gonna put brown burlap my card on it for you, Jim.
That's the guy.
So he will be live. He's live right now. He will probably be live till 6 o'clock in the morning. And he does not
that's
strike
my
me as
plan
somebody
for
who
this
uses
weekend.
meth.
Put bevels on blades, get rolling, and get
He means well. Only listen
brown
about half of
spears,
what he
knife
does.
done and out. And a couple other projects I got to get done and out. Oh yeah, I got.
What do you say, Kyle?
I'm going to drop his
I'm
link.
gonna start it tomorrow actually, and quit early. I'm gonna start tomorrow. Probably quit about. I'll get up.
Does he ever sleep? I mean, I rarely sleep.
I don't know. I think
about 4 or
he
5
said he
o'clock,
don't
have
do
dinner with
drugs.
the wife,
He's real
go rest the night
holistic.
with us.
I think he's a closet meth head.
Even
No,
though
I'm
she's
joking.
mad now,
No,
and she's saying,
I'm sorry.
"You're
I'm
gonna pay
talking
$10
live.
to
No,
live."
he's a hell of a good guy. He's a hell of a good
I
guy.
wish I had $1 every time I heard that.
Might do a
Yeah, he
little
seems
bit.
like a good guy. I mean, I've never sat in one of his lives,
She says that.
but I might jump in there after I eat.
Yeah, there you go.
I might go over there.
You gonna pop in, Kyle?
Drink water. I appreciate it, brother.
I may. I got a couple things I got to work on.
See, people don't like it when Kyle comes over because he knows too much.
Kyle's always welcome.
Hey, people can't get away with saying dumb shit when Kyle's around because he puts them in their place.
And then Jim gets mad because he doesn't agree because he's old.
Some people just need to be educated.
Well,
you
they
guys
don't
have-
like it when somebody half their age no more.
Well, to me, I think, and I always used to say this and believe it, anybody that's an expert has just quit learning because
Right.
there's always more to learn, right?
100%, 100%.
And you take that stuff and you run it through your own mental filter and you determine what you want to keep and what you don't.
Yep.
But information is good. I don't think it has to be hateful. It's just
Sure.
good to
Knowledge
know
is
it.
power.
You got any parting words, Derek, before we say goodbye? Do something kind for someone. I love it. What about you, brother Kyle?
Nada. Just have a good week. Be careful.
And Friday night, I
Make
will
good
find out
decisions.
tomorrow, but we should have Jacob, and I can't pronounce his last name. I'll get him to share how to pronounce it. But what I really want y'all to hear is his story of, why Very Good Knife Company's been in business for 2 years, but why he's been building knives for 12 years.
They make great knives.
And the story is a story of resilience and a story of struggle and a story of, coming out on the other end. But I appreciate each of y'all hanging out for a little while tonight. I know it's kind of early. We've gone 3 hours. I will see you Friday. Kyle, I appreciate you, brother. Eric, you're always welcome.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me, buddy.
Do me a favor. Look out for the guy or gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Use debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.